You think I'ma tell nobody smooth, emotional, laid down, die, yeah. Late night. Success, but it feeling new. We was locked in, we was bulletproof. Now we barely even speak what we do. Late nights, I be scrolling through. Memories ain't what we do. We had something they can't recreate. Now it's distance, now it's all debate. I ain't perfect, I admit my wrongs, but I'm trying, I've been holding on. You was everything I needed then. Now I'm asking where we headed in. When we gon' love again? Feels like we lost it somewhere in the air. We were silent, now we drifting. Tell me how we let it fall apart again. When we gon' love again? I've been trying to find a way to fix it, yeah. All this distance got me stuck inside my head. I just wanna feel that real love again. Yeah, I've been moving but it ain't the same. All this money couldn't ease the pain. I done tried but we drift away. Now I'm stuck thinking about yesterday. We was vibing, we was in our lane. Now it's silence, we don't say a thing. I don't know where we lost that spark, but I feel it heavy in my heart. I ain't tryna let it fade away. I just wanna find a better way. If it's real, we can bring it back. I just need to know where you at, yeah. Tell me where we went wrong. I've been holding on too long. When we gon' love again? Feels like we lost it somewhere in the end. We were silent, now we drifting in the wind. Tell me how we let it fall apart again. When we gon' love again? I've been trying to find a way to fix it, yeah. All this distance got me stuck inside my head. I just wanna feel that real love again.
Hallelujah. In the fire, I still lift you up. Hallelujah. In the fire, I won't fall. Even in the pressure, when I was down, you ain't let me fall. Hallelujah, through the pain, I still praise. Every night turned into better days. I was lost, now I'm finally found. You lifted me when I was on the ground. I was stuck in the dark, I admit it. Lost my way, I was deep in it. Tried to fight on my own, couldn't win. Then you came, now I'm born again. I done seen too much pain in my life. Had me questioning wrong from the ride. But you showed me a way out the storm. Now I'm standing, I'm no longer torn. I don't move how I used to move. I got purpose, I got truth. Everything that I am is you. So I give all the praise to you. Hallelujah in the fire. When I was down, you ain't let me fall. Hallelujah, through the pain, I still pray. Every night turned into better days. I was lost, now I'm finally found. You lifted me when I was on the ground. I remember praying late nights, trying to find peace in my life. Didn't know how I'd make it through. Now I see it was all you. Every test made me stronger now. Every loss turned me around. I was blind, now I finally see. You was always right here with me. I don't fear what tomorrow brings. I got faith in everything. I don't walk by sight no more. I just trust you and move forward. You never left me. Never left me. You always kept me. You kept me. Through the fire, through the rain, I'll praise your name. Hallelujah in the fire. Oh, even in the pressure, I'm still when I was down, you ain't let me fall. You ain't let me fall. Hallelujah, through the pain, I still praise. I still know. Every night turned into better days. I was lost, now I'm finally found. You lifted me when I was on the ground.
Whoa.
Yes, God.
Yes, God, yes. Oh, I beat my chest. Oh, I fall prostrate. Lowest of the low, hide your face from my sin. Ooh. Let your mercy show. Yes, God, yes. Oh, restore my soul. Oh, my spirit friend. Hey. I bring a song. Your mercy is show. Your mercy is show.
Yeah. Born in the rain, Big Ten revival, the goodness of love. Fully entitled, I keep a Bible app for quick fix. Don't you keep a parachute in the cockpit. 24/7, 365. I need G's my prize. My winner ticket, I'm gonna kick it like 4th and go, 1 second on the clock. Dig if you're cool, hate if you're not. I flow like the currents. Blame my parents, my style inherited. Deacon treads, my heart been led, my spirit's fed. Psalms 51, have mercy on me according to who you are. You are the only one, the holy one, the risen one. You'll never
Yes,
stop.
God, yes. I beat my chest. I fall prostrate. Lowest of the low, hide your face from my sin. Let your mercy show. Yes, God, yes. Restore my soul, my spirit friend. I bring a song. Your mercy is shown. Your mercy is shown. Your mercy is shown. Your mercy is shown. Super love, holy love. Broken for usage, 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 yo, broken for usage, 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 broken for usage.
Becky with that AI background.
This is actually my living room, slightly modified, so it's funny.
So it's actually your living room.
it's a picture of my living room that I then kind of AI'd a little bit, but for
Oh,
the
okay.
most part, it's there. It's that.
Nah, that's cool. It was very AI-ish. That's you always do it anyway. I was just messing
Yeah,
with
I AI'd it. So, but
you.
I was
You don't
like,
want
oh,
people in, you don't want people in your business.
you can't tell where I live at anyway.
Yeah, you can't tell. This is just a wall behind me.
Right,
You know what I
right.
mean? But what's good with you?
Nothing less. What's been up? What's up, chat?
Man, you know
Tag a
how
friend to tag a friend. We talking tonight.
yeah. You talk to Karen?
Mm-hmm.
What's she doing? I
I
usually
told her,
talk I usually talk to
told
her. I
her
ain't call her
pull
today.
up on me.
Tell her pull up on.
Mm-hmm.
Nah, that's what dude. Yeah, I had to have you for this, man, since we were reviewing a video with you in it. You know what I mean?
Okay.
My little sister and I love to see what we on tonight.
I never review a video I've been in, so this is gonna be interesting.
No, 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 no.
The playback is always a little different, you know.
Yeah. Well, you really didn't say too much in it, but we do want to go
Yeah. It was a
in.
lot going on
Yeah,
that day.
we do want to go in depth in the ideology behind a lot of the things that were said.
Okay.
I think that it'll be, you can
Mm-hmm.
really, really cook. You know what I'm saying? Go on and just cook on it and preach the gospel. That's why I did all church songs today. You know what I'm saying? And
I was
all
listening on my phone.
huh?
Right. I said I heard it on my phone before I came up.
Yeah, I created all them songs. You know that, right?
Mm-hmm.
I
You
did.
AI. You
Yeah,
AI me.
yeah, for sure, 100% AI. But I'm just saying, like, you would have think that was like, you know what I mean, a famous gospel singer, rapper, or something.
Okay, let me find out you got some vocals.
Nah, I'm just saying. You know what
No.
I mean?
Okay.
We own that tonight. But let me see who all we got in the building. I usually don't start this early, but since I got a guest and I think she don't want to be up on her all night.
No, I don't.
All right, so we
I
gonna
got
get
work in the morning.
we got working more, so we gonna get in and get out. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna get the review popping. Lotus Flower, how you doing? Almond Eyes, White Flag, Nickers, what's cracking? Uh Willie Beeman, this nigga is asleep. Willie play too much. Uh Dory, what up? Tori, what up? Sir, what up? Let me see, Sir Nick, a Serene Lemonade. We got Tara in the building. Shout out to everybody. I'm gonna go and drop the link for anybody else that wanna pull up. And if you pull up, preferably have your camera in on, please. Then my good Filipino friend pulls up with the $20 ball before we even get started. She gives $20 literally almost every night, man. I say shout out to Beano Nation in the building, Miss Lotus Flower. I appreciate the contribution, appreciate the love. Hey, make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel, and speak to somebody in the chat. Say hello. See, I agree. I do. That's one thing I do. When you come over here, you got to speak to somebody in the chat. Greet somebody. Say, hey, how you doing? Remember when you used to have to get up in church and go greet somebody you didn't know? Rebecca? Huh? You're on mute, FYI. So we can't hear
I
you.
said my church still do that.
Exactly. So that's how I tell people when y'all come over here, speak to somebody in chat, even if you don't know them, get acquainted. Say hello, how you doing? God bless you. Happy to have you here. You know what I mean? And that is what it is. Let me find this video so we can go and get straight into it. Cause my friend got to go to work in the morning, and we might cook. You know what I mean? It might go. Well, we don't know what direction it's gonna go in, but hey,
We gonna see.
yeah, we're gonna see. Real quick, let me see. All right, here we go. So we're gonna go on early. Hold on, let me see. Yeah, there we go. Let me make this a bit bigger. Rebecca, if you need to stop it, let me know when you want to. I'm gonna just do it this way. Let me see something real quick. Okay, clarity. Hey, baby.
And I go by BK, FYI.
Man, everybody trying to hear all that. Call you what I want to call you.
I'm about to go by Baxter now.
You go by what?
Baxter. Baxter Bible based. I'm going by Baxter to.
Okay, Baxter, whatever. You confusing me already. I'm already confused. All right, let's go get the review started so my friend can get us some beauty sleep. All right.
ahead and land there, and you can continue to talk to me about something that
need to be right. So, like I said, because you landed. So, like I said, okay, the reason why the Bible was referenced is because of the original question asked to me. I didn't have a problem with leaving it out. So what you're stating should be directed towards the person that asked me a two-part question.
There was a question by the gentleman who asked her, are you speaking about biology or are you speaking of some form of doctrine? She specifically said both, and she said the Bible. So in saying the Bible, the point that she referenced, and then he uses a portion that she referenced, and then she's like, oh, that's one portion of the Bible. That completely negates itself. That's ridiculous. She needs.
So Rebecca, in that commentary right there, can you give me a little bit more context to what she was talking about?
Yeah, so Mont had asked a question on her views on polygamy and multiple partners. Did it come from nature or did it come from the Bible? And Melanin said it was both. It's both a natural thing and it's something that is allowed in the Bible.
Okay, so question: what is your current stance before we're gonna progress right into the video? I just want to know what is your standpoint on that. I know you're gonna say it in the video, but if you want to give a clear cut, ideology about where you stand with that and what do you truly believe is the true concerning that, go ahead and cook.
Yeah, so for me, I say this in the video. We all have sin nature, if you want to go based on what the Bible says, right? And while polygamy relationships were allowed in the Bible, they were not condoned. And any story of polygamy was never a positive one. There was always turmoil, strife, and disease, the lack of peace and unity when it came to polygamous relationships. And so I do reference to someone, Melanin brought up that it's allowed in the Old Testament without the new one. And I was like, the original intent was one man, one woman, and it comes back to that in the New Testament. And so that was my viewpoint through, and I say some other things, so we'll get to that.
And then also, and just to kind of like piggyback, I'm gonna use P. Smurf word, right? Like the Bible even all tells women to shut up and be quiet, right? So if we're gonna go verbatim by the Bible, and when we're reading black and white, then that would apply. So people will have to understand that a lot of times things were said in the Bible or things were allowed, but they were for specific reasons. It's not that it was ordained by God and that it was a standard across the board when it comes in reference to being a believer and being accepted by God. Let me just say that.
Right. So I think people get confused with what was allowed versus what was condoned. And I bring up another point when people like to argue the Old Testament, that I'm sure will come up in the video. Or I hope it comes up in the video. If not, we'll get to it later.
All right, cool. All right.
To be consistent, if you're going to bring up something and say that it's the Bible and then he uses a portion of it, it's just complete contradictory to then say to pick and choose which portion of which she referenced she will allow. I land there.
It's interesting. Like, again, we make up words because we want to. You like all you have to do is let people talk long enough. That's what I do. I'm not going back and forth with you because you're wrong, and I don't want to take your money either because I don't need it. However, again, she used two different examples, and there's no point in trying to nail her down because unfortunately she's right. And what I think is that a lot of women have an aversion to using the words they need to use to prove points because when they don't agree with something, and that's what we're seeing tonight.
Point it out specifically. So let's do this because I want my $50. I want my $50. Go to Webster right now. Everything that I said is a fact. When you look up the definition, aversion is included. When you look up the context,
help me understand what was going on right there. Did you know?
So there was an argument when she said someone was misogynistic. What does that mean? And she said, look up the definition of things and the word associations and synonyms that is used to describe it and what he was saying fell in line with something was misogynistic. It was a verbal dictionary game that Willie and her were going back and forth with. I kind of checked out a little bit.
Because I was trying to figure out what the word
they went back and forth on these definitions and how she believes the way what she said toward him was correct. And he was like, no, you're not using the word in its literal definition correctly. And that back and forth went on for a little while with T and,
Yeah, I was trying to understand the correlation between virgin and misogyny. I was lost. I think Willie in the chat. I don't know if Willie want to come up, but I seen him in the chat. I don't know if you want to come up and explain it, but I was just trying to understand where misogyny and virgin, how those two correlated in the same sentence.
No, she said version. Like if you look up in the dictionary of version, it wasn't virgin as in V card.
Okay, so she was saying what?
Version. Like if you look up misogyny, one of the ways she was saying that he had an aversion, meaning like a dislike or
Okay, gotcha.
Sidestep to
gotcha. Okay,
women, which classified it as misogynistic.
All right, that makes more sense. Okay, that makes more sense. All right.
Of aversion as it relates to misogyny, it relates to biasness. So we can put the money on it to make it fun. I don't really care what you need or what you don't need. It was my comment. But all of the things that I have said, so anybody who is listening, fact check that. Literally Google Webster definition of misogyny. Aversion will be included. And then look at the context of what aversion means to the word misogyny.
And then, okay, even if we'll say you're wrong, that's fine. But I'll pretend like you're right. And if you use what's your definition to what I said, you see that it's not based on if rooted in misogyny because it wasn't about the gender, which misogyny is. So you're wrong again. And again, you're welcome to let me keep your $50.
So let's just do it. Anybody want to fact check this? Because I do want my $50. I would love to have a couple of drinks.
Can I just mention really quick that I don't know what Bible, Old Testament, New Testament, but I do recall something in the Bible saying that every man should have one wife and like one woman to each her own husband, something like that. But so I'm lost on where you're trying to say that the Bible is allowing these type of
because I remember the Bible talking about wives and concubines or something like that.
Well, can I interject here really quickly?
Go ahead.
So, one, polygamy is allowed in the Bible as akin to slavery was allowed in the Bible. So when people like to
can't hear you.
You can't hear
me?
You can't hear her.
Oh, you can't hear me? Okay. I'm like, so when we like to argue polygamy, I always say, well, then let's argue slavery as well if we want to go off of what was allowed, right, during those times. So while polygamy was allowed, right, it was not optimal. And
did you say pause?
Yeah, real quick. Because this is one of the things that, every time we get into the polygamy debate,
we done had that.
We done had them on here, like in the Old Testament. In the Old Testament, and I'm like, okay, so how about you niggas argue slavery then? Let's argue for that the way you argue for polygamy, since it was allowed and there are parameters around it. And black people, we like to get real quiet on that part. Because don't nobody want to argue that. Because it's not a positive thing, even though they had parameters around it. And it is more akin to indentured slavery too, because you could work your way out of slavery back in the day, right? And it was more of a debt, right, thing. You could be captured and all the parameters that it sets up. But still, we love to argue the things that benefit us and not the things that we kind of don't like stoning people. So it's one of those things where I always bring it up because people love to argue parts of the Bible without looking at the whole point of things.
So let me give you some small pushback, just for conversation, right? So Jesus never explicitly says polygamy is sin. So what do you think about that?
Because it's not, but neither is slavery. But we still won't lobby for it. It don't say nowhere in the Bible that slavery is a sin.
I got you.
Right?
I got you. So
We ain't gonna argue for it, right?
No. We're not gonna argue for it. We're just trying to have a conversation and bring, because people might have different ideologies. So I just want to bring a different perspective. So having multiple women won't send you to heaven, won't send you to hell.
No. It won't. If you follow the guidelines for it. So here's the thing. And this is where we kind of get into the video later on, where and I'm like, which kind of came, y'all confusing love with whoredom, and y'all confusing not just that, you don't follow the parameters of what polygamy actually was. It wasn't for you to sleep with a whole bunch of people. It's for you to marry, a lifelong commitment, and to take care of and provide for, right, marital rights for multiple women. And with that, I think so many people, we kind of see polygamy more straightforward, and even it's been a little bit abused, kind of, right, in Muslim cultures, where you have to be able to provide for each wife. They have to have their own dwellings. You have to make sure that the food, the water, and everything is
Becca, is that the Bible?
Their children are being treated equally.
But Becca, is that the Bible or is that a custom or tradition?
No, that's in the Bible. That's in the Bible. That's in the Bible.
Okay. You had lag for a second there.
Yeah, I seen it. It glitched on me. I gotta turn off something. Hold on, let me see. Okay. So yeah, I think it's just that we don't apply polygamy rurally when people are talking about, and then it also, we've argued this before. The Bible clearly states that you should follow the laws of the land as long as it doesn't cause you to sin. And if a law restricts your freedoms, as long as it doesn't cause you to sin, you're supposed to follow it, right? Mm-hmm. As long as it's not unjust and unfair against God's. Oh, I'm lagging, ain't I? I don't know why. As long as it's not unjust and unfair, right? You can follow that. So with that, it's like America does not allow polygamy, and as a believer in the Bible, you have to follow that law. Now, if you don't like that and you want to move to a nation that does allow polygamy, and you want to follow the biblical laws for polygamy, you are open to doing that, right? But like I said, it is permissive. It's not his perfect will to have polygamy. His perfect will was how he set things up in the Garden of Eden. One man, one woman, clinging, enjoy and delight yourself in the and it also does specify too not to multiply wives for yourself or contain or have a lot of wives also. And then there's another thing that there's a number of other things that you can look through the Bible in the New Testament about what Christians are supposed to be, priesthood set apart, and the priests, weren't marrying multiple people and who people were divorced and not the things, because it's supposed to be a bloodline, and God does advise kings against marrying multiple people because of what happens. It's divided attention.
No, for sure. No, that's a bit. Okay. So there's no move. So fellas, if you want to be legally operating in polygamy, you have to move to a nation or a country where that allows it, right? If you're in the United States, you should obey the law of the land. But if you do have multiple wives, it won't send you to heaven or hell, correct?
Correct. Unless you're doing it in America and you're disobeying the law.
Hold on. So hold on. So Rebecca, think about what I'm saying. So if you operate in polygamy in America, it will send you to hell.
Mm-hmm.
You say what?
Wait, say that again.
If you operate in polygamy in America, you tell me
that lagged for a second.
Nah, you good. You said that'll send you to hell?
So here's the thing, right? And this is where I personally wouldn't play around with my salvation. We've had this discussion before, right? So there is a verse in the Bible where it says, Lord, many will come to him in that day and say, Lord, Lord, haven't I? And it lists out these things, cast out demons in your name, feed the sick in your name. And God says, depart from me, you workers of iniquity, I knew you not. So an iniquity is perpetual sin that you become the sin, right? So instead of just lying every once in a while, you became a liar. Instead of just fornicating and falling every once in a while, you become a fornicator, right? This is why the Bible says these people will not inherit the kingdom of the earth. Not the fornicators, the lasciviousness, the liars, all these things, right? That people who won't inherit the kingdom of God. And so you play a fine line game if you are adamantly disobeying the laws when the Bible tells you not to, as long as it doesn't cause you to sin, because then you become lawless, and those people will not inherit the kingdom of God. So I personally would not put my salvation and my entrance ticket to heaven on it. Now, whether or not you get in, that's between you and Jesus, because I don't know. I'm going to be in line waiting to find out if I get in, just like y'all going to be in line waiting to find it. But I personally wouldn't, based on what I read, I personally wouldn't do it, because I don't know where it becomes from you breaking the law to you being lawless and being that internally as a person, right? And like I said,
right,
you have iniquity, you won't inherit the kingdom of God. So
I can live in Texas and go to hell, but I can go to Utah, become a Mormon, and go to heaven.
So there is no law in the United States that allows anyone to be married, not even in Utah, to multiple people.
I thought what are those people?
The Mormons, you're right. The Church of Latter-day Saints.
The Mormon, the Amish, the Amish.
Well, no, not the Amish. They don't have multiple wives.
I thought they had multiple wives too.
They don't do technology and stuff, and they live life old.
Yeah, I know they do, but I thought they had multiple wives as well.
Not the Amish near me. Maybe there's a sect of Amish people who do, but the ones I
grew up with in Utah.
In Utah, all I know is the Mormon / Church of Latter-day Saints have multiple wives, but that is a church doctrine, just like it's an Islamic doctrine. Technically, they are not married legally. There's no place in America where you can legally marry multiple women. So there's a whole expose on it, actually, because mind you, in Jewish culture, some people believe in multiple wives too. And there's a whole expose that because they can't get married legally, their wives are actually on public assistance, and the taxpayers are actually paying for their lifestyle because they're considered single mothers. They get food stamps, they get Section 8 housing, they get all of that because one man is technically married to somebody else, and he is paying for that household, and most of them can't actually afford the multiple households that they have. So they're actually on public assistance. So we, the taxpayers, are paying for these Mormons and others have multiple wives because it's not legal, and he's not legally married to none but one of them. And a lot of times they can't actually afford all those people. So,
all right, real quick, shout out to Tell G with the $5. He said Christianity, polygamy is a no. Islam, polygamy is a yes. You want to touch that?
Technically, in Christianity, polygamy is permitted, right? And that's why it is specified in one of those Asians in the New Testament, I forget which book, that a deacon is to be, or maybe it's an ex, a deacon is to be a husband to one wife. And that's specified, though, although in the Roman Empire, you could only marry one woman. So by the time Jesus came, monogamy in one marriage was the law anyway, which is why you don't see people with multiple wives in the New Testament, is because most of them are Roman and they're under the Roman Empire. So there was only one wife allowed per husband anyway, right? But people came, in pilgrimage into Jerusalem from every nation around that they could. So Jews were already scattered across the world at that point, and they were coming into Jerusalem to worship on the high holy days. And some of them, depending on where they came from, could have had multiple wives because it was, like I said, allowed under Jewish culture. It is still allowed technically under Jewish culture. But as far as Christianity, the heart of Jesus and God the Father and the Holy Spirit is one wife, one husband, Jesus at the center.
Okay, I'm gonna roll with you, but you still didn't answer my question.
Which is it allowed for Christianity?
No, that if I live in America and I decide to have multiple wives and I go against the law of the land, am I going to heaven? Is God going to condemn me to hell just because I chose multiple wives?
He might. I don't know. That's a question I'm gonna have to ask him, because, like I said, at some point, are you considered now lawless because you are disobeying the laws of the land when there's no reason for you not to? I mean, not to obey them. So I don't know. That's gonna be an interesting thing to see on Judgment Day. The only people who don't
okay. So I'm a let me cross reference something to that. Let me give you a different analogy that's kind of similar, right? So there was a man. Okay, so what about the unisex restrooms? Is that because that's more of a preference thing, right?
Yeah, correct.
So that's not going to send you to heaven or hell, right?
Unisex bathrooms.
I'm talking about like choosing to be like, okay, well, you know what I mean? Like when they try to force, how am I trying to say this? When they trying to force men that are born men to go in the men's restroom when they trying to act like they're a girl. Now, we already know that, but you know what? Maybe that wasn't a good analogy. I was trying to.
Okay, no, I think I get the way what you're saying. In the case where the government is trying to,
yeah, there you go, exactly,
make it a law that anybody can do something, right?
Yeah, you see where I'm going with that.
That's a little bit different, right?
But what I'm saying is a matter of preference, though.
Right, that is a matter of preference.
And they trying to make you go against your biology and what you were naturally born as, right?
Well, I mean,
if you claim to be something else.
Right. Well, right, but that's a little bit more difficult because the people who want to go to their gender assigned bathrooms, that's not the issue. It's the people who aren't gender assigned want to go into the other people's bathrooms. So
exactly. but what I'm saying, I'm just saying, but if the law steps in and the government steps in, then
let's say you own an establishment and you don't want that to happen.
There you go.
Should you obey the law of the land or
there you go? Perfect.
Or not.
There you go. Perfect.
Yeah. My personal belief on that is that, one, if you don't want it to be a law of the land, you should first and foremost vote. Right? You vote these people in. I'm not just talking to you. I'm talking about everybody on this live.
Yeah, I'm not even arguing with you on that.
Local and state elections are the most important. More than a president is probably going to ever matter to most people, right? Is local and state elections. If you have traditional beliefs, vote for traditional people who are going to uphold the beliefs that you uphold locally, right? Because that is actually going to make a difference. Your local council people, your state representatives, your governor, they're going to determine the quality of your life very largely, very, very largely. So please vote locally first and foremost. If the government is trying to force you to do something that's against your beliefs and you have biblical grounds to say, oh, I cannot do this. Like if you own an establishment and you really believe that the Bible says, hey, no, there should not be trans, people in non-gender assigned bathroom. One, you better be able to back up biblically. Two, from what I, see biblically, I don't know if there's really grounds to discourage that. But it is something that I haven't really done a study on and seeing like biblically how would that be handled. I mean, Old Testament would have been stoned, but so would fornicators. So I would say that and adulterers. I mean,
you see your boy done came up here.
Yes, my guy Harwin. Yeah, so I just think that that's something that you really got to be able to back up. Just like, we're going to talk about the V shot. Right? Don't say the word because y'all know it's gonna happen. And if it was against your religious beliefs on getting it, but the law of the land said no, you have to get it. What would you do? And you would have to find biblical grounds of respecting your body as a temple and putting in something that was rapidly developed. Which, if you did any research, you're like, this is going to destroy my temple, and I ain't doing it. Biblical grounds for not taking it, the B shot, right? So, like I said, I think if you have a belief, you do need to be able to back it up with some real religious, substance.
I got you. All right, let's get back to the video.
Tape.
I got you, because I'm gonna get you through the video. I'm gonna try to get you out of there in at least. Can you hang with me 45 minutes, Becca?
Yeah, I got you till like 1.
I bet.
And every story of polygamy had negative context to it, right? And then people always go back to the point of creation was the origination of Adam and Eve before sin. So I don't believe that it's in a man's nature to have multiple women. I believe sin is in every human's nature because of the fall, right? Which is what the Bible says, going back to Genesis. So all that to say, right, is that people are going to choose how they want to live life and how they want to sin, because doing that is that, because you're supposed to be married, which is actually polygamy, right? You were married, you had a contract. In Jewish, even concubines had contracts, and it meant you have a certain level of protection and provision by the person who you.
Hold on, Becca. Concubines had contracts?
Correct. Concubines were not. See, people misunderstood.
I gotta do my research on that one, Becca.
Yeah, look up Jewish culture. Concubines had contracts. Everyone had a contract. You weren't just amassing women and them going all willy-nilly. This is why in the Bible you will actually see that a number of people slept with people's concubines, families' concubines, and it was a hot mess, right? You even see King David.
So I just put it up on ChatGPT real quick. It says, did concubines have contracts? Yes, in many ancient Near Eastern cultures, they generally had recognized legal status. Correct. A concubine could not simply a casual sexual partner. Whoa, okay. So typically she belonged to the household, had legal protections, though fewer than a wife. Children could receive inheritance rights depending on circumstances. The relationship was socially recognized. Biblical narratives reflect this culture institution.
Correct.
Well. All this time, I thought the concubine was just a little side chick. She had a whole contract.
And a lot of times, see, and the thing with the concubines and the wife order too had to do with the children. So you also have to understand that wives' children had a certain level of inheritance and stature, and then concubines came after that. So one of the first instances of like wife order you can kind of look at, right, is of course Abraham and Sarah, right? Even though she gave Hagar to him as a second wife, she's still underneath Sarah. Another one you can look at is Israel, right? Jacob. So he had his wives, and then he had their handmaidens, which were more like concubines before the word comes on, right? And they had certain things where the children fell in order. And so even with King David, right, he inherited concubines, and when his son
he inherited concubine.
Yeah, so back in the day, that's why when people talk about virginity, I always find it super interesting, right? Because you were to take the wife of your brother.
Yeah, I know about that.
Right, if you died.
But that was more of coverage, right? Like if he died.
Right.
That wasn't to sleep with him, with that woman.
Right. So for the concubines, a lot of times when kings captured other kings' things, they took on the concubines and they became the coverage. So this is why when I think it's Absalom tries to steal the throne from David, and he takes his concubines and sleeps with them on the top of the roof where he saw Bathsheba, which is the whole crazy thing, because the reason he's even advised to do that is from Bathsheba's grandfather or uncle, which is a wild connection that people don't make, right? Of why did Absalom?
They want to admit David was out of pocket.
Oh no, David was way out of pocket. Which we see, Nathan tells him, you done stole the little lamb and you got all these sheep, right? Because David had multiple wives. And he's the only person in the Bible that God actually says he gave women to him, concubines to him. He said, I gave your masters like concubines into your bosom. He's literally the only man you'll ever see God reference in the Bible giving multiple wives to. So with that, like, no, concubines weren't just some, they were a stature, they were a lesser wife, so they just fell lower in the hierarchy, but they weren't just willy-nilly around, you know. No, that was not, you had to provide a life for them. You had to provide housing, you had to split up your inheritance among the children. This wasn't no do what you want to do. This is why I say most people don't actually want polygamy, they want whoredom.
I got you. I'm rocking with you.
I agree with that. Whoredom ain't polygamy.
Hey, if y'all can turn y'all cameras on, cause y'all please, if y'all don't mind. If you can't, then this is what it is. But yeah, anybody got a statement before I continue the video?
Yeah, y'all talk about the law of the land, right? Man, you ain't gotta follow no law of the land that go against the Torah if you follow the Torah. If the Torah is going against the law of the land, that's a contradiction. I mean, if the law of the land is going against the Torah, or and including the New Testament, throw that in there too, then it is a contradiction at that point.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Like, for instance, the three
so if God said you
Shadrach,
can have
Meshach,
multiple wives,
yeah.
and America saying nah, then that's going against the Torah customs. Now that's not a law. It's not a law that say you can't be polygamous. It's a law that say you should be either. But it going against the customs of those people that was a part of that so-called Near Eastern culture, which I don't even like that because Israel is in Africa. So whatever.
Yeah, I was gonna agree with that. Like, for instance, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego was thrown into the fiery furnace because they chose not to follow the laws of the land at the time and bow down to the statue because it went against their religion. So now, even going against the law, they face death, but they would rather face death rather than go against what God said for them to do. So there are instances where you can go against the laws of the land, regardless of what it says.
Yeah, if it causes
when the
you
law
to
of the
sin.
land is going against the Torah, or
Right.
if we talk about the Bible, since that's what we talking about. If it's going
Yeah.
against the Torah, no.
But it can restrict your freedoms, just like taxes. So remember, they were complaining to Jesus, like, why we got to pay these taxes? We already have our own temple tax, da, 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 da. And he told them to render unto Caesar what is Caesar, and unto God what is God, because it was they had to pay their taxes. Like,
but that's a different
you
thing,
can't
though.
say
If you
like
talk about the Mormons in Utah having multiple wives, like they not really technically breaking the law of the land they're breaking, but the law of the land is going against their religion, and even the law of the land say you have the right to your own religion and the Bill of Rights. Thus, there's a contradiction within the law itself.
Yeah, I want to rebuttal here. You know, respectfully, this is one of the problems with Black people, is because we seek intelligent validation based off the white man's stories. All that shit a bunch of bullshit. First of all, Black people was here before religion. Religion comes from a word that means paheo, which means to oppress or hold down, right? And I'm a preacher's kid, right?
Religio.
And yeah, exactly. So look, here's the thing. First of all, respect Miss Big K, but everything you're spewing is just anti-polygamy or anti-polygyny, right? Which is a part of the problem now, right? So here's the thing. Polygyny comes from not nobody want to have a bunch of hoes. Not nobody want to purposely have a bunch of wives. It does not come from some male egotistical domination mentality. It literally came from survival and community. Here's why. What happened was in early times when a husband died at war, a husband died, right? Or something like that. The community found it important to make sure that that woman does not become a Jezebel, to make sure that that woman does not be left out and become what we now call single mamas, right? So out of respect and or to keep the value of that woman's person and to keep that child from being a bastard, usually a married man who already had a family and could take care of her took her in and she became the other wife. Not only was she accepted by him, but she was also accepted by the woman because we were a community. That's where that stems from. It comes from something positive. And so it just kills me when this whole Western mentality tries to negatize it and use the extreme examples of it, which is niggas who use it wrong, to justify going against it. It comes from a real sacred, positive, spiritual place, and it kept the community pure. Look what's happening now that it's not being practiced. Look at
So
everything.
Rock, real quick. So Rock, so you're saying that and when we look at our community, right? Let's just be honest, Rock.
Yeah.
When we look at where we are now with men going around just impregnating women, leaving women, and then but also you have women that are letting men impregnate them, and then they're crying wolf and taking the kids from the man. So there's destruction on both sides. Would you agree?
I totally agree.
There's responsibility on both sides. Would you agree?
I totally agree.
Okay, so with that being my stance, right? So would you co-sign or would you champion for us to keep moving the way we're moving? And you would want men to have multiple wives, right? Now, let me ask you this. If men are to have multiple wives, are men, according to the scripture, supposed to be able to house these women and be able to take care of all of them, or is it more of a partnership building type thing? And I'm only saying that, presenting this, because I'm just trying to figure out what direction do we go in and what would be best for our communities, because we know for sure that being in a monogamous marriage, monogamous relationships, most of the time, how we were raised, Rock, in our communities, in my opinion, worked. Because, like, think about this, Rock. When we came out of our house, we knew those were the Johnsons. They'll go to Jacksons. They'll go to Smiths. Everybody knew everybody, and we had community. Would you agree?
I agree.
And so with the one man, and I'm not advocating for either side. I'm just trying to ask you, from your knowledge and from what you see, what would work best? Because you saying that it came from a positive thing. So I'm just trying to figure out how can it still be positive today with today's mindset? Or should we go back to the Smith, the Johnsons, and the Jacksons, where each household was recognized by, the grandfather and the grandmother, or the mother and the father? Go ahead.
It's going to take a balance. Now, here's the thing. When it comes to this, what people have to understand is that it's one thing that can make something a solution or a problem, and that's intention.
Okay.
And that's pretty much what will make the difference between it being something good and it being something bad.
I got you.
You see what I'm saying? Because and the reason I say this is because at the end of the day, guess what? Most women are sharing men anyway. You see what I'm saying? So if it's happening anyway,
Rock, Rock, no, I got you. So, but they're not willingly sharing men. They're unknowingly sharing men. I'm not saying all, but I'm just saying.
Listen to me, Trey.
Like a lot of, think about this. No, I'm right with you. Hold on. Most men, hold on, but listen what I'm gonna say. Let me make the last thing. Right, what I'm saying is most women are going into a relationship expecting a man to be monogamous. Now, if she's sharing that man, then she's not sharing him knowingly. I'm talking about the majority.
No, I got you. And let me respond. Here's the truth. Most women are in denial that they are sharing their man. It's a big difference. It's a big difference. This is facts. Here's the thing. Here's one of the things where some men don't realize. A lot of women, too many women, women like to play like they don't know men. They know men, right? And regardless of what they're saying, their expectations of this guy that they're with, they know that the risk is there. They know it exists. They know just how possible it is. To a certain extent, they like to play stupid in that area and then look surprised when it happens, right? These are the same women who will sit there and tell you, oh, these niggas ain't no good. These niggas ain't shit. Okay, then, well, why do you go into a relation? That means there's no way they're going into a relationship with that existing in their mind.
But Rock, would you agree that the majority of women are actually going into a relationship expecting a man to be monogamous?
Let's be honest, bro.
They're expecting it, but in their heart, they know that expectation is definitely at risk.
But wait a minute, Rock. If a man tells a woman that he wants to be monogamous with her, we can't hold her accountable for something that she was told and expecting, because that's what he promised her.
I totally agree.
Because it's looking like because that ain't that we got to get the difference between whoredom and polygamy. That ain't polygamy.
Can be true at the same time.
No.
You're totally
watch
right.
it, Rock.
It don't make it. It doesn't justify the man fucking up, because if you sold a lie, then you got to get held to your lie.
But Rock, we can't roll with this with the talking point about most women are sharing men. And let me tell you why we can't roll with that talking point. Is because, first of all, the majority of them don't want to, right? Would you agree?
Yes, I agree.
Regardless if they know that nigga. That's just like me.
Exactly.
Bro. That's just like me, nigga. I'm all of that in a bag of chips. Any woman get with me know that it's gonna be other women coming down my line. If you don't think so, you just dumb as hell. You just retarded. And plus, I deal with a lot of women. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I always gotta be on my P's and Q's. But at the same time, like I'm just saying that if in the rule of the way it was back in the day, Becca and Harvard and to everybody on the panel, when they were operating in polygamy, Rock, I'm trying to kill your talking point, because were they sharing each other back then when it was when polygamy or polygyny was a cultural thing?
Okay, so what do you mean when you mean sharing? What are you saying?
No, so you hold on.
You mean polygyny, right? Where you had a man had more than one wife, correct?
Hold on, but what I said, hold on. What I'm saying, Rock, is you said they might as well operate in polygyny because they sharing men anyway, right?
Exactly. It's a right. Why not do it the right way? Why not do it in a way that will benefit the community?
Okay, but watch this, right?
Men are not signing up for that. So I think here's the disconnect, and this is why.
No, it's not a disconnect. It's
no. Wait, I let you speak, Rock. Wait, let me just.
Okay, go ahead.
Right, because here's the thing. This is what I argued in the clip. A lot of men do not want polygamy; they want whoredom. And I think just because you are one of the men who do actually maybe want polygamy to be able to have multiple wives who you stick with for their lifetime, and you provide for them. A lot of men do not want that, hence why they acquire side chicks who they can do the minimal thing for. There are plenty to your point, right? There's actual polygamy, which is the marriage and the protection provision and the lifelong commitment to multiple women. Most men aren't signing up for that. They don't even want to get married one time, let alone two, right? And then there's the requirement to treat all of your wives equally and to give them their marital due. They don't even want to do that with one woman, let alone multiple. So that's why I say that too many men, you might be one of the men who's actually like, no, we should be polygamous. We should have marriages. We should be settling down. We should be raising our children together. I'm going to make sure that all the women have what they need for this and that. We'll work together. We'll do the things, all the things, right? But that is not what, as a cultural in Black America, we are seeing.
In white America.
Well, I'm saying in Black people.
Because this comes from them. Okay, so here's where my pushback on what you're saying is, right? Mm-hmm. Now, a lot of what you're saying holds merit. But see, here's where it gets tricky. What you're speaking on is the result of the damage from a Eurocentric lifestyle. So, yes, if you're talking about 2026, fuck yeah, we pretty much cooked anyway. True. You see what I'm saying? We cooked anyway if we're going to talk about now.
Well, she admitted that the Romans were the ones that outlawed the polygamy in the first place.
No, they're not
exactly.
the only ones.
Hold on. Now let me
add to that. In connection to this
now, hold on. Now, because I want to debunk one of her statements. Now, here's where I disagree with what you said when you said about most men just they want whores, right? The truth of the matter is that our uncles, majority of them, I mean, our majority of our uncles, daddies, and grandfathers, most of them had 2 women and only needed 2 women. And that one was their wife and one was that woman on the other side of town. That's a fact. Most men don't need, listen, I'm a man. Most men don't need a bunch of women. Most of them don't. Now, there are a segment of men who just dick loose. We get it, right? Just like there are a segment of women who are just pussy loose, right? But that's not the majority.
Yeah, but when you say that, we might as well do it right, and I'm not opposed to that, but when you look at modern culture and see how lustful people are, I don't think it would work, right?
Well, that's what I'm saying. That's why I just told her, if you're looking at it from now, society is pretty much fucking cooked anyway. You see what I'm saying? What I'm saying is, if there is a chance for us or America or the Western world to be saved, then that is definitely a good option for those that it will benefit more. Because here's the thing, I'm not saying abolish nuclear relationships. No, it's not for everybody, and everybody don't need 2 wives. Everybody don't need to share a man, and everybody can't afford it.
Okay, so what would be hold on. So Rock, what would be, how would we gauge that, and how would you kind of control that in regards to if it was a societal norm?
Well, it goes back to intent. Again, that intent can change something from being a solution or to being a problem. If the intention is not good, it's not going to work anyway. Like to Bekay's defense, if a man just wants more than one woman from the standpoint of thinking with his dickhead, then he already lost because his intentions is not genuine. But if his intentions is to build a family, build a legacy, build genealogy, help guide the community in a better way, and keep this woman from being a single mama, which, whether we like to admit it or not, that is a strike on her in society. Just like a broke nigga is, if a nigga doing bad or he broke, I've been broke before, that's a strike on me. So this is to save those women who husband may have died in the military from war and had 2 kids. Because not all single mamas are single moms by having a loose pussy. Shit happens.
Mm-hmm. Anybody want a response?
So I still have a question. So are you saying the widower, right, that already had a husband with the 2 children should be tasked with getting another husband, or what are you proposing for that?
No, she shouldn't be cast, but you got to understand. Okay, let me give an example. I'm saying that based on the mindset of society, that would be better. Let me give an example. My wife's Nigerian, right? I can legally have up to 4 wives. Her dad had 2 wives till 1 died. He didn't go break his neck trying to get another one. He good. He older. His wife older. He good. Because he did not marry 2 women for just for pussy, right? It was a love there. So he not out trying to get another one. Another thing I want to add to it, right? So in Africa, in most parts of Africa, do you know the average woman is a virgin up to 25 to 30 years old. Average, it stops around 25, but it can go up to 30. You want to know why? Because those women understand that society is so hard on them if they are single moms, to where it's just that damn important that they don't be loose pussying around, because they understand what comes with it. Whereas in America or the Western world, the shit damn near badge of honor. You get a medal for the shit. And so that's why.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah, and so that's why it has major benefits. Then just off the numbers, it's over 1 million more black women than black men. It ain't even enough black men to fucking marry y'all.
Anybody want to respond? So now I'm gonna get back to the video.
So to respond to you, Trey, are you saying you don't think it'll happen? I think I heard you right. You said you don't think it could work today because people too lustful. Well, doesn't that apply to monogamy too? Because cheating is cheating, whether you monogamous or polygamous.
Facts.
No,
So
I was just putting it out there for conversation.
okay,
I don't think
so
it'll work.
it'll work. I mean, it literally is working right now in other cultures. The issue is changing the people's mind that
But
it's not even working in monogamy. Right now, we have an issue.
Yeah. Like
Somebody,
if I'm being honest, like I would love multiple women. Like no more than 4 though.
yeah, most men shouldn't be polygamous. We're not saying every man should. Some men need to be
Exactly.
monogamous.
But like I said,
Exactly.
if I don't have multiple women, I'm not. It ain't gonna make or break me. You know what I'm saying? It ain't
Right,
make or
and it
break me.
should.
But if I had my way, I wouldn't mind about 4, 3.
what's the point of having 4? If I'm just curious.
Because if you,
It'll
I
keep me.
mean, or you can ask Solomon the same question. Something like you can ask King David the same question.
Well, I can't
We
ask
can
them. They
ask.
gone. I
We can
ask
ask.
when we get up to heaven. I ask them when
No,
we get up there.
what I mean
But
by that is
I
not
just was
literally.
wondering. I just was
I'm
wondering.
being hyperbolic when I say ask them. Literally,
I know,
what I'm saying
Harlan.
is go contest the word you believe in.
I got to
Clearly,
answer.
it's because it assists the culture in some way. Whether
No,
this
because I
whether
mean,
1 second. I mean, see now at first I was with you, Becky. Now you sounded anti-polygamous. I thought you was anti-whoredom, which I'm also anti-whoredom. But now
Fact.
when you respond like that, now you sounded anti-polygamous because I was kind of with you when you was talking to Rockstar at first. Cause
But in
well,
most of those
here's the
cases,
thing
that
though.
didn't lead to the.
All of
Okay, go
those
ahead.
cases, there's not one
Right.
positive case of polygamy in the whole Bible, bruh. And in
What?
Solomon's case, it led
Oh
him
my
to
God.
be, it literally says that because he had so
nah,
many
polygamy
wives,
didn't lead him
it
nowhere.
it
His own
literally says,
selfishness led him somewhere.
Part of
no,
the
it
reason why we
literally
fucked up is
says
because we
that
following that
in
bullshit. I don't
Solomon's,
know how
well,
a
Hold
nigga
on,
don't
hold on,
have a
Rock.
name
Rock,
called.
that's what
All
we
right,
talk.
I don't
Wait,
know no
hold
nigga
on,
from
Becky, y'all.
Nigeria
Let
named
Becky
Rock.
go.
1
Charles.
second, Rock. 1
Let
second.
Becky
So
go.
hold
wait,
on, let
no,
me read it. Hold
literally
on,
it says in
That's why
Solomon's
we
case.
fucked up.
Becky, I'm
Becky, we
finna
don't
back
really
you
want to
up.
go to this text and do this,
Hold
Becky.
on, Harwin, hold on.
That's why
Becky,
we fucked up, man.
hold on, y'all 1 second. I asked the question, did all polygamous marriages in the Bible have negative consequences? It says nearly every detailed example includes serious problems.
Correct.
Examples: Abraham, Sarah, and Hagar, jealousy
Problem.
and family division.
No,
Jacob, Leah,
polygamy wasn't the problem. It was Sarah that was the problem.
hold on. Just let me read, and then y'all could argue the nuance. All right. Jacob, Leah, Rachel, Bilal, and Zilpah, favoritism,
Mm-hmm.
envy, conflict. David, family toil, rebellion, sexual sin, murder. Solomon, many wives led him towards idolatry. The Bible records these events, but doesn't necessarily approve them. Some argue the problems came from human sin rather than polygamy itself, while
That's
others see,
exactly what it is.
and I finish. While
Go
others
ahead, finish.
while others see the repeated pattern as evidence that polygamy was never God's idea. Y'all go ahead.
Let me
So
respond, man. Let me
Wait,
respond.
can I
So
finish
Hold
my
on,
point though?
I literally was talking.
okay, my bad,
Yeah,
Carl.
yeah. Harlan, go ahead.
Becca was talking before you, remember, because I cut off to
No,
read that.
no, she wasn't. She cut me off.
Go ahead, Harlan.
But I'm gonna let y'all have a conversation.
Yeah. She jumped in and started talking about David and how whatever he did, and it says that yada yada yada. So we can look up in the Bible of the monogamous in times when things went wrong. Like we're going to point to the people that went wrong or the ideology of the culture, because we can do that same thing with monogamy.
Thank you.
Right, but
Thank
the
you.
difference is
So
that
if we're talking
Exactly.
no
about, okay,
polygamy
y'all
is
still going.
positive,
Yeah,
but we
Nah,
do
let
have some
y'all
Harlan
still
positive
finish
instances
going.
of
cooking.
monogamy.
Because it's clear
Y'all
that,
still
it's
going.
clear that it's some anti-polygyny people on
Yeah,
here.
yeah,
Harlan,
yeah,
keep
yeah.
cooking.
Now, Becky, now I see you're actually anti-polygyny
Yeah,
and
they
you're
I
anti.
anti-whoredom.
always would say I was. It's not, you didn't have to see
So
it.
so the
I argued
Okay, but
argument
against it.
so
God, but God is not though, and you
And
can't
he's
show
not,
me no.
but like
You
I
can't.
said, he's
But
not
you can't. 1
anti-slavery
second.
either. So we're gonna argue
Who's
that
not
two niggas should be back
anti-slavery?
and change because the
You,
Bible gives positions on how to capture niggas. So we
McKay, that's
add
it
that in
sure,
your
it
there.
sure
problem.
does.
Since y'all
It
were
sure
That's your
does.
no,
problem.
right now we're
Put
gonna
a
argue
slave to a
But
slavery.
let's
white
not.
Y'all
man's
should be
Hold
back
on,
and
people.
man.
change then.
Hold
Let's
on,
not.
y'all.
We
You
gonna
Hold
you
on,
only
argue
went
it.
hold
off
God
of
on,
how
Hey,
you
said,
hey,
hold
if
sound.
on.
I conquer a
Y'all,
hey,
land,
you,
hold on.
I
We
can
Becky,
take
cannot
all
Becky,
y'all
all
women.
talk
Becky. I was
at the
talking still,
same
Becky.
I'm
time.
just
Now,
saying.
Harvard, you
I'm
gotta,
just
This
saying.
nigga
Harvard,
I,
here,
Harvard,
we're
you can't
cooked.
just
I was
keep
talking,
talking.
bro.
You gotta
Tell
make a
them.
statement and let her respond. You are monologuing. I'm listening. So
I'll
make
be
a
quiet.
statement.
I let her,
Make
bro.
a
Wait,
statement
wait,
and
wait.
allow her no, because when she tried to respond, then you act like you wasn't finished.
I wasn't done.
Oh,
Let him
bro,
finish. Let
make
him finish.
one
Go ahead,
statement
Harlan.
then. Quit making 10 points. Make 1 point and let her respond.
I didn't make 10. What 10 points did I
Okay.
make? What we
Can
doing?
you make 1 point?
Can I?
Please go ahead.
Can I? Becky, God never went.
Bro, you know I listen well. So if I
I
tell
ain't saying you
you,
don't.
if I tell you
You
that
ain't
you're
the one that's
making
cutting me off, Trey.
again, if I tell you that you're making multiple points, I'm telling you that's what you're doing. And you're telling me that you're not. I'm listening. So I'm just asking, have a conversation, because you make a statement, she respond, then Rock jump in. No, we can't hear her.
Y'all go ahead.
No, it's on you.
No, go ahead, Becky.
No, I here's the thing.
Yeah, she gonna
Polygamy
move the
is
goalpost to talk about slavery.
allowed. Polygamy is allowed. We never said it wasn't allowed. Am I for it? No. Why? Because there is not one positive story in the Bible of polygamy. There are positive stories in the Bible of monogamy. Thus, my conclusion is that polygamy leads to strife. But
Okay, so
with
what happened with
monogamy,
King
you have a
Solomon and
chance.
Makita?
Say that again.
What happened with King Solomon and Sheba, who's called Makita?
Nothing. I mean, in the Bible, it just says
Yes, it
she
did.
came. In the Bible, it says she came. She gathered his wisdom. She perceived that he had so much wisdom that she gave him many, 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 many riches. And then that's all it says in the Bible.
That's all it says in the King James version of the Bible, and King James also has slaves. So we cool with with the King James version, even though he participated in slavery, right, Becky?
The Bible allows for slavery, just like it allows for
Oh
your
my
polygamy.
God.
No, you ain't answer my question. So is we cool with sticking with the King James version? Because I can
Yes,
go to
I'm
the
cool with
Ethiopia.
sticking with the King James
Okay,
version.
It's
okay,
crazy.
I live.
cool. So, and I'm cool with sticking with the verses that King James and the Anglican Church and the Catholic Church didn't allow to be put into the Bible that was originally canon. And in those verses, you have the in the Keber Neges and the Ethiopian Bible, we have who we call Makita, who is Sheba's
Mm-hmm.
name.
Mm-hmm.
And they
Thank you.
had a son
Facts.
named Menelik. And Menelik had a great union. And that great union was in the bloodline of King David. Another person's from David's bloodline is Jesus. So here we have a positive one that should be in the Bible, but because of King James, who's pro-slavery, and his people before him in the Anglican Church and the Roman Catholics didn't want to put those books in the Bible that should be,
Thank
we
you.
wouldn't be having this problem
Wait,
about
no,
Googling
but that's
something. Wait,
still
wait, wait, wait,
Shit,
wait. Whoa,
right.
whoa, 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 whoa. We wouldn't be having this conversation about so-called not having positive instances of polygamy
that's still not a positive instance.
to push a Roman. It is positive because that means
How?
Hold on 1 second. So Rebecca, let me ask you this. Do you agree that there is a relationship or marriage that Solomon had that was successful that was not included in the King James version of the Bible?
So here's the thing, right?
no answer
When
the
we talk,
question.
no, I'm gonna answer this,
I'm
right?
about to say, Rebecca, I asked you a specific
So
question.
no, specifically when it talks about the issue of polygamy with King Solomon, two things are brought up that makes the polygamy negative. One,
That's
the
not
fight
his
amongst
question.
no,
Hold on.
no.
I'm not
This is what I'm saying, because you're saying it's not to say that
Let
you
her
couldn't
finish.
have a
Oh,
positive relationship with one of the women. We see that with Jacob and Rachel. Their individual relationship was positive. The negative was he was also married to her sister Leah, and it was drama between those two, the women, right? So it's not
But
to say
Becky,
that
you're
the man
not
and the
respectfully,
women.
Becky. You're
Wait,
not
hold on.
answering
I'm
Trey's
answering your
let
question,
her
question.
Becky.
finish, Darwin. You gotta just let her finish.
It's not to say that the man and an individual woman cannot have a positive relationship while in polygamy. It's to say that as a whole, when you look at the individual relationships, either between the women or between a man and one of the women or between their multiple children, there's negative connotations in there. In this case, in Solomon's case, there's two negative connotations. One, because of who he marrying multiple women, the Bible specifically says that it led his heart astray from God because the love of his wives, he allowed them to worship multiple gods, and it led his heart to do that. He set up ideological worship in the kingdom of Israel. He was not supposed to do that, and that was particularly listed because of his wives. Number two, his kids, that it was a lot going on there
Still
when it
ain't.
came to him and
Becky,
his
you
kids.
not answering the question respectfully.
I just
let me
answered it.
respond.
No, you didn't.
Okay,
That
let me
wasn't
let me
Trey's
I did.
question.
First of
Trey
all,
asked you,
Hold
was
on,
there a
Rock. Hold on,
positive?
Rock.
Trey
So,
asked you
Rebecca,
about a
answer
positive
my.
instance.
I understand where you went with your narrative, right? But can you specifically, even though that his heart was led away, did he still have a successful marriage?
With one of the women, yes,
So
but I
therefore, we
never
have a
argued.
successful instance that the Roman Catholic Church
No,
conveniently chose not to add in the Bible. There
wait,
go
but
the
that was
answer.
wait, hold
That's
on,
called a mic
no.
drop.
It's not because what you're
It is
arguing is
because
saying
the
no.
Roman Catholic Church decided to not put it in their canon.
There was literally a positive relationship between Jacob and Leah. He loved her so much. So what are you talking about? There's already
Because
instances of
you said,
people.
I'm only addressing you saying there is no positive instance
Hey,
of
hold
polygamy
on.
in the
It's
Okay,
Bible.
so
not.
Harwin,
She's
let me ask
talking
you a
about
It
question.
is.
Hold on.
It's in
polygamy
the
and
Hold on, y'all.
Ethiopian
totality,
text.
not individual
You're talking
relationships.
about
Hold on, I got you. Some. Hold
individual
on, one
Right.
second.
people.
Becca,
It's
I'm
in the
on you.
Ethiopian
Becca,
text.
I got you real quick. So, Barbara, can you agree that Rachel and Jacob had a successful relationship, but with the sister, it was a very negative relationship? Would you agree?
I don't even know how we got to talking about Rachel, bro. When we talk
Now,
about
hold on. Just
Solomon.
hold on. Just hold on.
I don't
Can
know how
you?
we
Like, why?
got
If
how
I
we
move
did
the
what we
goalpost, hey,
did
we
right
gotta
there.
all
No,
get
it's
the
not.
same treatment. If
Harwin
I
is
move the
not.
goalpost straight,
Harwin.
you gonna hold me accountable. The
Harwin. She
goalpost is
asked.
getting moved, bro.
Harwin. She answered your question. Can you answer hers?
No, she didn't answer, bro. She didn't
Okay,
ask
I'm
me that
asking
question.
you. Can you answer my question?
Sure, bro. But can we stop moving the goalpost?
No,
Yeah,
because
because
you're
I don't
not.
know
Hold
how we
on. Let
got
me tell you why the
there.
goalpost is not being moved. The reason that the goalpost is not being moved is because Rebecca said that, hey, there were people that had multiple wives, where that with one woman we can agree that, hey, that was successful, but then there was turmoil and all other instances that we can really dissect and communicate about. They were very negative, but they were all married to the same man.
Yeah, because of idolatry. Idolatry is against the law.
Okay.
I'm not denying that. Again, that's not a problem of polygamy. That's a
At
problem
all.
of the human beings
The human being.
practicing idolatry. That is
Exactly.
not that is not mutually exclusive to polygamy.
At
That's a
all.
red
So,
herring.
I'm not.
Becky is red herring.
Well, hold on, real quick. You didn't.
Well, no, does the Bible not tell a king not to multiply wives? Did it not say that in the
Oh my
Torah?
God.
But the
No, the
Bible
Bible
also
Well,
says
didn't.
in
does
We
the
was
Exodus
here
Torah,
that you
before
no,
can
the
have
day of
wait,
multiple.
Christ.
Hold on. So I
Does
can
the
We
start.
was
Torah
here
not
Let
before
me
tell
the
a
have
day
this
of
king not to
Christ.
have
conversation
multiple
because
Yeah.
Becky thinks that King
Let me know
James,
when
the
y'all
King.
done with this religious
Yeah.
shit.
Real quick, Rockstar, because Becky thinks the King
Yeah.
James Bible has univocality and it doesn't. Because what she just quoted from one book, then you can go to the other book in Exodus where he does okay it. So what we're proving here is that the text that was combined to compile together by the Romans, which are Europeans, when they compiled that, they pick and choose which text they wanted to do, make it, put it in there, and tried to make it have univocality. Univocality is saying that these things happen in order from sequence from Genesis to Malachi, which didn't happen. The book of Job might have happened even way after the book of, when we talking about David. These books are not even in the same order. There is no univocality for you to even ask that question. If we was to ask
All
that
right.
question, we got to go real deep
All right.
and
So
show
real
that,
quick.
wait a minute, hold on. To show that, wait a minute, this book that they compiled in these 66 books in this version of this King James flawed version that we're using, there is no univocality to even use that point to say that, hey, in this instance he did this, but in this instance he did that. Because then when you go to the Hebrew text, you can say, well, wait a minute, El said this, but Yahweh said this. But then she might say, wait, El and Yahweh is different. I'd be like, no, if you know Hebrew, you know that that's not true when you look at Deuteronomy 32.
All right, so real quick, I'm going back to something you said, Harvin, and I'm gonna see if you're gonna be honest about this.
Hey, Trey,
and I want to add something to
Trey,
this too,
real quick, Trey. Can we I just want to point out that seeing BK,
I can't. Is somebody talking? I can't hear.
BK,
I gotta go out and come back in.
My bad. Yeah, I'm sorry. If seeing BK get drugged by Harvard in the Bible debate was not on my 2026 bingo card, and then 2, when you niggas,
whoa, of course.
What?
Go ahead, Willie.
Oh, I'm sorry. And then, like, once y'all done talking about the Bible, what we gonna talk about a Harry Potter novel next? Or, like,
no, nigga,
for real.
No, say, nigga, no. I got something else in store for y'all next, nigga. So just come up when we
Hey, Willie, this is me and Harwin be doing this from time to time.
I feel so bad. You are a glutton for punishment, but hey.
Now listen, real quick, Harwin. I'm gonna see if you're gonna answer the question though. So Harwin, you telling me that Jacob and Leah relationship didn't work because of idolatry? Is that what you're saying? Harwin.
Oh, he's on mute.
I know he's on mute. I gotta hear this because
see, that's how you know God real, because he got his camera, he got Harwin on mute because he protecting BK.
Man, I want to add to it, Trey.
Look, go ahead real quick, Rock.
Here's the deal, man. And for one, everybody ain't Christians, right? And the reason
it ain't about that. It ain't about that, Rock, because that's just the conversation we're having right now.
Where it's about a Christian book.
Yeah, I'm back. I couldn't hear nobody.
But my point is this. My point is this conversation is so beyond religion. It's one thing that is one thing I do know that God did. He gave men dicks, okay? He gave us dicks. And they work the way they work, And it ain't shit, no Bible verse. It ain't shit, no woman feeling can do that can change the reality and the outcome of our actions based on what we was given as far as this body part. Now, it's crazy how me and Harlan has been challenged, but we have been totally speaking on this conversation from with a man we've been coming in it with integrity, good intentions, it's positive as can be. We ruled out that whole shit. And yet it still get demonized by women. If this shit ain't more proof that you can't please a motherfucking woman, it don't matter what you do.
Hold on, right? Who demonized?
We can't do right.
Becky
no matter
demonizing
what.
polygamy, but she's not using the word demonize. She just said she's anti-polygamy.
But she didn't demonize. Rebecca didn't demonize
She
anything.
kind of did when she tried to act like God was against it when she put that verse up to me.
That's
I gave her a verse from Exodus.
Okay, well, let me change words.
That's not demonizing, so
don't change.
Okay, let me change words. Minimize.
But Ross, didn't you say at the beginning that it wasn't about getting multiple coochie?
No,
polygamy wasn't about.
Listen, if we gonna be up here, we gotta have an intentional and an honest conversation. Willie, you trolling right now, nigga. So you need to. Yes, you is, nigga. You're about. Either that, Willie, or you're about to start.
Oh, my mama, I'm not trolling right now, but what I was.
Well, you just said don't change the word, and Rebecca did not demonize it, fam.
No, yes, you know how.
No shit, Willie, come on, fam.
I'm going to tell you how she demonized the same way most of you modern day Christians do. Anytime y'all don't agree with something, you talk bad about it, you demonize it.
Yeah, bro, he compared it to slavery, bro. Trey, she compared it to slavery.
But that's allowed in the Old Testament.
Wait, I know it is, but the point is,
one thing about me, fam, I'm gonna keep a fair conversation.
Trey, she don't. That's she not having a genuine conversation because she don't agree with slavery.
Like, so you got to remember That's what I'm telling you. That's what she
But
does.
what I'm saying right now, she did not demonize anything.
She did. She compared it to slavery, bro.
So look
again. No, she did not.
Slavery is demonizing.
So real quick, Trey, you a
No, what she did was move the goalpost in that regard.
That's still, but she
That's
when
not
she moved the
demonizing,
goalpost,
Harwin.
she demonized it.
Something
Man,
compared it to slavery, bro.
Harwin, that's not. No. What?
Slavery is allowed per the Bible, New and
Not
Old
what she
Testament.
did, my
Do
nigga.
you
Like,
agree with
bro.
slavery?
If we
Yes
want
or
to
no?
argue it, listen.
That's why me and you be having
I'm
the
not
issues
arguing
that we
it.
have
I
because
think
my
that y'all
nigga,
need to keep the same
I
energy.
told you, Harwin, once you control respectfully, my nigga, you my brother for real. So you know I ain't trying to be funny.
Yeah, I
I
know
told
that.
you, my nigga, when you learn how to listen, you're gonna be the coldest nigga out here. But you don't listen, bro.
So listen, I listen very well, and I think
no, nigga, evidently, because you said Rebecca demonized it, and she
She
did,
did, bro. You didn't hear what she said. You ain't catch it, bro.
No, I didn't hear it. That nigga, I'm the one moderating.
Because you can hear the words, but you cannot catch what happened. Real quick, Trey, ask Becky, do she agree with slavery? Real quick.
I know she don't.
Yeah,
no. Ask her, bro.
Why would I ask her something I already know the answer to?
Because it's a point for people listening. Becky, do you agree with slavery? Yes or no?
No, I do not agree with slavery.
Okay, so why would you bring up slavery in the conversation when we having about polygamy? Because you anti-polygamy.
No,
my argument was that you niggas love to argue what the Old Testament and what the Bible
I don't.
allows.
That's not my argument.
But too many of you niggas don't want to do the whole thing. So I said, if you want to argue that something is allowable,
enslaved
in the Rock, we're talking about purely from a biblical standpoint.
You're talking from the biblical standpoint. I only
we were
address
talking about the Bible.
I don't need the Bible to argue.
Y'all gonna sit up here and tell me, hold on, Rock.
But Rock, you were true. You weren't coming from a religious standpoint, so I give you that. Rock wasn't.
Rebecca, 1 second. This is what I'm saying.
Becky, you was.
She made a correlation, and the correlation is fair, my nigga. What is y'all talking about?
It's not fair. Listen, because she don't even agree.
Yes, it is.
Can I tell you how? Because why would you bring up something
Hold
that's
on,
not
okay,
fair?
so watch this, y'all. Hold on. Hold on, y'all. Fellas. Hold on, Willie.
Yeah, in the Old Testament, it's a lot of stuff your wife ain't supposed to do, bro.
Hold on 1 second.
That's not in the Old Testament. That's in the New Testament, actually.
Make the correlation. Explain it.
I can show you either one.
Rebecca, explain it now. Why you say what you said? Can nobody?
So we were arguing polygamy on the grounds of the Bible. Okay, that's what we were talking about. Arguing polygamy on the grounds of the Bible that is allowable per the religious text of the Bible. And I said one of my things that I always ask people that if they're going to argue that something is allowable per the Bible, why do they always bring up polygamy and never any of the other things that are allowable according to the Old/New Testament?
Because those things aren't moral and upright. That's why.
And neither is polygamy. It's from my personal opinion.
According to a Christian, of course, you're gonna say that.
According to a Christian,
according to a Christian, slavery is allowable, and it doesn't say anything against it. It actually tells people to treat their slaves fairly.
Right now, you're not going by
even
the
in the
actual
New
text.
Testament.
You're not being genuine.
I'm being literal. No, I'm being genuine.
No, I know you're being literal. I said you're not being genuine.
So my point is that
your point is a red herring.
Something on morality versus what you actually believe, right? If you're arguing something on the basis of the Bible says this is allowable.
Becky, I'm only arguing the Bible because that's what you believe in.
All right, love you.
If you was a Muslim, I would be talking about the Quran.
Hey,
slavery is also allowed in the Quran.
But that's not my point. My point is you brought up the biblical stuff. So that's why we're talking about it. So if we're having a conversation about polygamy, why would you bring up that as if somebody's being disingenuous? Because if you want to go there, then I would say that, guess what? Adultery is only for women. Men can only commit adultery when they having sex with another man's wife. If he cheat on his wife, that ain't necessarily adultery.
Trey, hold on. Wait. I'm not trolling, but you niggas are just not being logical now. And I'm fixing
Hold on, Willie, real quick. Harwin, what you just said was the truth. You didn't say a lie. What you talking about?
No, I'm not. I know it was the truth. That's my point to her. Because women would say that. Because morally today,
but Harwin, these women are not educated, my nigga.
Becky's very educated, bro.
No. I'm talking about. These women are not educated in a regard of what, bro. Just listen, my nigga. These women are not educated on what God calls adultery, is what I'm saying.
And these niggas not either. So that go both ways. Okay, so when she bring up slavery to niggas that ain't educated on slavery in the Old Testament, when we having a conversation about polygamy, that's disingenuous, bro.
No, it was
that's
not.
demonizing polygamy.
No, I disagree.
So Trey, real quick, just let me interject because again, you think I'm trolling. I'm just being. You just don't agree with what I'm saying, and like you can't moderate a conversation you're participating in. So you got to if you say you moderate.
No, but Willie, watch this. The only thing I said was, hold on.
I just want to get my point
this is what I'm saying. The only thing I said, fam, is that her correlation
you are in the conversation. You can't do that as a moderator.
So Willie, hold on, Willie. If somebody makes a correlation, and I just said that correlation is fair,
that's not what a moderator is supposed to do. You're supposed to keep the conversation moving and directing like a traffic cop.
But that's what I'm doing.
No, you're not. You telling
really? No. First of all, hold on, Willie. First of all, I had Rock and Harwin trying to overtalk Rebecca. That's number one, right?
So then
that's cap. She was overtalking me.
I don't overtalk nobody, man.
She overtalked me.
Rock,
and Rock, to be fair, you definitely was, but that's just
okay.
But this is the thing, right? So correlating polygamy with slavery, you literally take you're associating with one of the most like morally condemned institutions in history. So polygamy as an institution is being correlated to one of the worst institutions ever known to man.
No, Willie, let me help you out real quick.
No, stop interrupting me. Like I'm not.
No, listen, because the type of slavery that you're talking about,
it's not the type of slavery that she's talking about. That's what I'm saying. Refute the point when I'm finished making.
Yeah, but she ain't say that though, Trey.
So again,
we already know that's what she's talking about.
No, I don't know. I really don't know. I correlated to American slavery when she said
that. No, nigga.
Are we gonna take turns making points or not? Because
go ahead,
goddamn. Because one, slavery is fucking evil. Like comparing anything to something evil is going to make that thing seem as if it is evil. That should be common fucking sense. Because again, if you're saying that polygamy has some systemic overlap with slavery, you can argue that point. But talking about this because of the Bible, that's crazy. Slavery was like the lack of consent, ownership of another person. Polygamy is not any of those things. So like comparing polygamy to slavery demonizes polygamy because you're borrowing from the moral horror of slavery.
Can I interject real quick, Willie?
God damn. Like, so unless you can show that there is some sort of that polygamy involves some sort of like ownership, coercion, denial of consent, comparison, or like it's more than rhetorical logic. Like, because the issue is slavery isn't just some bad relationship structure. Slavery is ownership of a fucking person. Polygamy may have problems that you Christian and Bible thumpers don't like for a multitude of non-religious reasons. However, but it was abused by a certain cultures, but the abuse inside of a structure does not prove that the structure itself is equivalent to slavery. That's the problem I'm having. Every time we have one of these modern day Christian motherfuckers talking about shit, it's never just because of the Bible. It's because it's something they don't like personally. And they don't like it because it's not in the Bible. They don't like it because she wouldn't want to share a man herself. They don't like it because they understand that if she had more than one man, she wouldn't be the front part. So you can't take a woman at her word when they're talking about polygamy or anything that doesn't benefit them, when the only reason why they don't have it is because they're referring to the Bible.
All right, now.
Okay, and can I refute that statement, please, Trey?
Go ahead.
So one, you're incorrect. Polygamy was a result of forcedness. In Leviticus. Wait. I'm talking because Rock liked to bring up the fact that originally it was a way for people who were at war to take on the wives of those who they had killed. Was that not one of his first points? Right. One of the many reasons. So one, polygamy did, in fact, fall under that according to the Bible. You could take on people's wives. Yes, it did. You could take on people's wives if you killed them in war. It's literally in there, and it literally happened. That's number one. That is by force. The women did not have a choice.
That's not the only way of polygamy, and you know
I said it. I didn't say it's the only way. It's not the only way slavery is enacted either in the Bible, but yet we're talking and I'm talking. So number one, there is a forced polygamy in the Bible. Number two, it also is a fact that if you slept with a virgin and got caught, not only did you have to then enter into a marriage with her, you could not biblically divorce her, even though there's legal grounds for divorce in the Bible. Number two, if you were subservient to another wife, she could give you away because you were her servant in the case of Hagar and Sarah. Another forced polygamy. So, like I said, if we're going to talk about biblical instance in here, it's not all sunny and roses. And slavery, there were two methods to enter in. One, someone was captured. Two, someone sold themselves for a debt. Now, American slavery was not biblical, to Harwin's point. Why? Because 1, you could not buy your way out of it. 2, there was an inheritance to your children. And 3, at the 50th year in the Bible, it was demanded that you let all your slaves free and forgiven all debts.
You're cooking your
So,
damn
Trey,
self.
so Trey,
Becky,
hold on.
was for...
Give me 60 seconds, champ. So Trey, so again, all you have to do is let them talk. That's all you have to do. So when you stop this shit and listen to what she's saying, she's not arguing anything. She's not refuting anything I just said. She's just talking more to try to convince y'all to agree with her. And again, so being fair, she does the same thing on the PEEF. She's doing the same thing here. And this is what Christians do. They literally use the Bible to make you feel bad if you disagree with them, and then to reference the pieces that are convenient to their argument. That is why.
But
are they doing that to make you feel bad, or you just don't agree? No, Summer, that's called being a Christian apologist. That's exactly what she
did. That's called being a mental
mind you, Trey, I didn't use the Bible. I used logic.
Exactly.
Logically, that's how you kill these types of arguments with people. Harbin, what you didn't do, sir, you didn't let her talk long enough. That's all you didn't do.
And you argued Bible with her. See, me and Willie didn't.
Because that's what she's coming from. Listen, I'm
but
arguing
if
the
you
Bible.
don't believe in the Bible and you don't follow the Bible, this is
wait a minute.
The issue now we're not proving her wrong, though. That's the issue.
Yes, I have proved her wrong.
No, you did.
Hold on. Listen, again.
I proved that correlating slavery is to slavery, to polygamy is demonizing it. I absolutely
watch this. Watch this. This is the issue. Because she's coming from a Bible standpoint, you have to argue Bible.
And that's why I'm coming
from
the
Bible.
Bible.
Common sense. Hold on.
Yes, I can. Yes,
we can.
We just did. Me and Willie just did.
Rock. Let me have a conversation with Rock. Listen, what Rebecca is saying is that people that use the Bible are picking and choosing.
She's people.
Hold on.
She's people.
Hold on. Hold on. Rock, is that not a fact?
Is what not a fact?
That she is arguing that people pick and choose what they want out the Bible.
Like Willie said, she's people.
I'm asking you a question.
Just say yes or no, bro.
Yes.
Please.
Thank you. So now that we on the same page, now she is saying that you have some people that condone polygamy, right? So what she's saying is that, hey, well, it's the same people that condone polygamy because it's in the Bible. Would they condone slavery? So I understand what you're saying. I understand what Willie's saying. I understand what Harwin is saying. But y'all cannot disagree with her correlation.
But her correlation had nothing to do with my argument.
Hold on, Harwin. Let me say this.
It don't matter. Listen.
Wait, Rock.
Argument had nothing to do with her argument.
From the Trey. Trey was talking to me. Let me respond to
yeah,
you.
You're right.
Bro. My nigga,
Trey,
let me explain me. I'm fair across the board. I'm not on nobody's side.
You just mentioned that her point had nothing to do with what I was talking
about. He was talking to me. Trey, let me explain to you what's going on. This is what Becky's doing. I'm going to give you a perfect example of what Becky's doing. Becky is the flat earther that wants to call everybody that thinks the world round stupid or crazy because she doesn't agree.
That's a great analogy.
It's simple.
That's a great analogy
because I use verses
you can't argue against the tactic that you can't argue against the tactic that you're criticizing your opponent for while doing the same thing and not trying to be funny. I haven't seen a Christian in this space who doesn't do that. Because if you want to use that in your argument, then you should also, again, as a Christian, be using that shit in your real life. And we all know that's not the case.
Watch this. Were y'all up here when I asked her if I had multiple wives, would I go to heaven or hell?
No, I wouldn't. I
wasn't here. I was in the cloud.
Exactly.
But that's not what we're arguing against. We're not arguing against that, Trey.
Hold on. That's not what I'm arguing. No. It's not the fact that your argument. It just shows you that I honestly don't agree with it.
I know you don't agree with it.
Agree with either.
We know you don't agree with that.
Like nobody is arguing against. We're arguing against the fact that she says that you can't pick and choose in the Bible. That's all she can do.
Yeah, because I wasn't picking and choosing.
No,
what she's doing is arguing vicariously with niggas through me.
Did any of you understand her correlation? Because
yes, that correlation is simple,
you cannot. Hold on. So was she wrong for that?
Yes.
Yes, because it had nothing to do with because it don't apply to me. It had nothing
disagree.
to do with what I was talking about.
I
It had
disagree
nothing to
with
do
y'all.
with the
I literally just explained
hold
it.
on, bro.
I disagree
How
with
you
y'all
gonna
though.
disagree? How you gonna disagree when it had
Harwin,
nothing to do with what we talking about,
Trey,
bro?
so you know how to use AI. Ask ChatGPT what's wrong with correlating biblically polygamy and slavery, and see how stupid it tells you that shit is.
I bet. I'm gonna do it right now. Hold on.
Like, what are we talking about, dog?
Man,
Like,
y'all letting Becky red hair,
Hold
bro.
on, Ryan. Hold on. You asked me to do something. We about to do it.
But this is the thing that
Man,
I
go
hate
on
about
mute and do that
right?
shit.
Christians
Nah,
are some of
nigga.
the fakest,
I
most
want Willie to say it again. I'm gonna let Willie say it. Here, say it again.
What is the issue with comparing? I mean, excuse me, no. How are you demonizing slavery, I mean polygamy, by comparing it to slavery? I think I should have said correlating.
All right, I'm gonna read it verbatim. So it says, no, I wouldn't equate or morally compare polygamy with slavery. They are different institutions and should be discussed separately. All right, what people often do is make a logical comparison, not a moral one. The argument goes something like this: the Bible regulates slavery without commanding it. The Bible also regulates polygamy without commanding it. The comparison is about how biblical laws function, not about saying the two practices are equally good or equally evil. So basically, Willie was right.
Yeah, this is a logical fallacy. That's why I told her she was red herring.
Bro, listen, I'm gonna call a spade a spade. Nigga, we right.
She was red herring, bro. It's a logical fallacy
Bro,
to compare
What was
the
the
things
last
she brought up.
sentence that you, Trey? What was the last sentence that you, Trey? What was the last sentence that you read on that?
It says,
"This is crazy."
Hold on, let me just read it again. Let me go slow.
Trey, real quick, just to point out, I didn't argue the Bible because you never gonna beat a Bible thumper with the Bible. They read that shit like it's a goddamn novel. That's what they they're rooted in. I use logic because again, logic prevails. Logic is the closest thing to truth that you're gonna get to.
But okay, so Willie, the reason I disagree with you was, hold on, let me tell you why I disagree with you. Because I knew that she wasn't talking about the American type slavery. She's talking about because Willie Harwin all this shadow.
You didn't even say that though. So like,
It don't matter, bro, because either slavery bogus.
Listen, I already knew what she meant though. Even though you right, she didn't say it, but I knew what she meant. I know she wasn't comparing it to.
She didn't know what she meant because she would have said it. She's smart.
First of all, I was specifically talking about biblical slavery because we talked about that earlier. Did I not talk about indenturitude and all that? And Harwin doesn't even agree with biblical slavery, do you, Harwin? Harwin?
No.
And what did ChatGPT say?
Man, let me answer because now she thinks she got me in a pickle. Because now she think so. What's about to happen is she thinks she has me in a pickle. So Willie, you do kill a Bible thumper with the Bible. You just gotta really know it better than them, and that's what's happening right here.
I don't. I ain't gonna hold you. I read it a couple times.
She thinks she got me in a pickle asking me that question. When you go again, my answer to that question is simple. The Bible does not have univocality. When you look at, like I mentioned, when you look at Deuteronomy 32, in that chapter, it shows you the difference between the sons of El and Yahweh being one of them. So I'm gonna ask Becky, which God are you talking about? Are you talking about El Elyon or are you talking about Yahweh? Because most Christians think they the same. You really want to go there?
I asked you a simple question. According to biblical standards, do you agree with slavery?
Do you see the shit
I agree with El Elyon's idea.
Which is what? No, according to
hold on, Willie. Let us have this conversation.
This way you be fucking up it.
No, it ain't.
Yes, it is. Because you're trying to argue Bible with a Bible thumper.
Come on, bro. Let me show you how I'm not fucking up, bro.
Not a Bible.
Let me show you how I'm not fucking up, bro. Because she cannot answer this. My answer is I do not agree with Yahweh's perspective on slavery in the Old Testament. It has no univocality. What I agree with is El Elyon's idea against slavery in the New Testament. I mean, in the Old Testament. Now, I want Becky to show me that is Yahweh and El Elyon the same? Yes or no?
Yes.
Are you sure?
Yes.
1 second. Trey, can you bring up Deuteronomy chapter 32, please?
Wait,
see what I'm saying? You're creating a rat with your Harwin.
Trey, that's
okay.
Y'all Rockstar, bro, you don't even know what I'm saying.
Bullshit.
No, you tripping. No, you're tripping, Rockstar, right now. Because I just got her with the Solomon.
Because let me tell you something,
because I just got her. Man, you tripping. I just got her with this. You tripping, bro.
No, you're not, because you're arguing with a flat earther about trying to pull her
It
to
doesn't
war, bro.
matter,
You're
bro.
not
I
gonna
argue with
win.
flat earthers.
It's a
No,
never-ending
wait,
saga.
this nigga, man.
Rockstar. The win.
Rockstar, I
Listen,
literally
you
just got
never.
her with the Solomon thing when I brought up the
You
Catholic
did,
Church.
but you're
You'll
not
never get
gonna
a
That's
pass
the
convince her.
Bible,
because
She's
though,
you
gonna
never
bro.
come
compare
Just
back
because it's
notes.
not in the
again.
King James Bible don't mean it's not the Bible, bro. It's
I
canon.
agree with you,
So
bro.
the
But what I'm
argument,
saying is, it's
listen,
a
bro.
rat wheel. It's a
Oh my
rat
God.
wheel.
Hey Trey, so just real
BK
quick.
is
So real quick, what did ChatGPT say?
All right,
You,
hold on.
you go ahead and read it again real quick, big dog.
All right, this nigga right here. It says, no, I wouldn't equate or morally compare polygamy with slavery. They are different institutions and should be discussed separately. What people often do is make a logical comparison, not a moral one. The argument goes something like this.
I'm sorry, wait, pause. You said I'm making a what? A logical comparison? Is that what it said? I'm making a logical comparison?
and
Oh
not
my
a moral
God.
Oh,
one.
not a moral one? Is that what it said,
y'all
Trey?
letting Becky off
I
the
want to
Is
get
that
to
hook.
the
what it
end. I
said?
want to get to the
No.
end sentence. I
Y'all
want to
letting
get
this
to the
Becky
last
off the
sentence,
hook.
Trying to
Trey.
argue with a Dallas Cowboy
That's what
fan.
it
He
said.
wants to
Oh
put
my
down his
God.
Cowboys.
Get to the
You
last
cannot
sentence, Trey.
convince a
That's what I want
Dallas
to.
Cowboy fan that they are not going to the goddamn Super Bowl.
Yes, you can
Shit.
when you show them the text.
Okay.
I was about to show her that her King
All right,
James
let
Bible
me
was
finish
altered, bro, and you
reading.
got in the way.
Let me finish
Thank
reading.
you, chat.
Let me
Dang,
finish
Rockstar.
reading. Let me finish reading. Then I'm getting to the super chats.
Y'all let her move the goalpost again.
It says the argument goes something like this: the Bible regulates slavery without commanding it. The Bible also regulates polygamy without commanding it. The comparison is about how biblical
Except with
laws
David.
function. What happened?
Correct, except for David.
Yeah, because that's what you said, Becky.
No, it's true, except for David.
Exactly. So
I
it
agree with
does
that.
command.
Okay,
It
can I
does.
finish
My
reading?
God.
It does command
Can
polygamy.
I finish reading? The comparison is about how biblical laws function and not about saying two practices are equally good or equally evil. For example, the Mosaic law gave rules about slavery, divorce, and polygamy because those practices already existed in ancient Israel. Giving regulations for something is not
He
necessary.
regulated it only. Okay.
That's incorrect, Summer. Did you not hear that she just agreed with me that he okay with
Keep going,
David?
Trey. Keep going, Trey.
No, Summer. No, Summer.
Can I
I
finish
want to keep
reading?
reading.
No, you.
Can I finish reading?
This is crazy.
This is a long way.
Regulations for
Some long-winded ass reading, bro.
Hold on, because I didn't really ask me to read it. I didn't read all, but now I'm going to read all of it.
Right.
Giving regulations for something is not necessarily the same as saying this is God's idea. Someone who argues
Summer, he okayed it for David. What are you doing?
Can we?
Why you get mad? You said reach.
I'm not mad.
I'm sorry. He
I'm
also.
annoyed.
All right, so I'm almost done.
Trey, let him finish. Go ahead, finish, big dog.
We almost finished. Someone who argues against polygamy from a biblical perspective might say God tolerated it for a time, God regulated it for limited harm, but God's original design seen in Genesis and reaffirmed by Jesus was one man and one woman. Someone who argues in favor of biblical polygamy might respond, if God never explicitly prohibited it and even gave laws governing it, then it cannot be inherently sinful. They might point out the several faithful men in the Old
I can't hear
Testament
nothing. I gotta come on, go back.
that had multiple wives. So the debate is really over.
Man.
So the debate is really over the difference between God permitting or regulating a practice and God presenting it as his idea. In other words, comparing polygamy to slavery isn't meant to demonize polygamy. It's usually an attempt to discuss a broader biblical principle. Does the Bible regulations of a practice imply God's approval, or does it sometimes reflect God's accommodation of human societies and hardness of heart? Christians and Jewish interpreters have answered that question differently over the centuries. That's it.
And I've always said permissive will versus perfect will. Polygamy is in God's permissive will compared to his perfect will is one man, one woman. That's all I always used to say. He allowed it because it was all but that's what I told you a while ago when we first talked about this. I said permissive versus
you did. I
perfect
agree. You
will.
did say that.
I stick to
what
that.
I told you.
I'm not.
I'm gonna tell you what I told you. I'm gonna tell you now. You're freestyling. That's not what the Bible say.
Does the Bible say what?
What you're saying?
And y'all let me know.
He put regulations around something that was already in practice. He put
Okay, well, watch
regulations into
this,
something that was
Becky.
already doing.
That's okay, Summer. Becky, can you help her, please? What did God do with David in polygamy?
Gave him slaves and gave him wives. You hate the truth, but it'll
You
set
see
you
that,
free.
Summer? You see that?
No, but that has nothing to do with me. That
Becky.
has nothing to do with permissive will and perfect will.
True,
right?
But that don't got nothing to do with what God said. So listen, let's get back to Becky because y'all let Becky
Let me
off
read
the
my
hook.
super chat. Let me read my super chats because if I don't, I'm not gonna get to them because y'all gonna keep going and going. Shout out to Hakeem Glass.
You want me to read it? Or you got it?
$2. I got it.
It's still his will, regardless.
$7 fish sandwiches after tonight's service. Appreciate it. All right, shout out to Dina Forbes. You got to make $90K a year just to date her. All right, shout out to Dina. All right, with $4.99, BK ended it all with that correlation.
She sure did, because it's a red herring.
All right, and my boy Magnetar, last one. Drop the next person that cuts Trey off. Appreciate you.
No, it's one more, Trey. Read the last one.
Where at, nigga? I don't see nothing. Let me see. Hold on.
Man, listen, dog. You just got to refresh the screen, big dog. There's one right after that.
Hold on, fam. Oh, $5 by Will MF and Beeman. More of the story Will is always. Nigga, shut up, nigga.
But what I was saying, her with permissive will versus perfect will is still God's will, right? There's certain things that He put in place so that His purpose, the purpose can go forward, right? I'm still saying it's permissive and are perfect. That's what I'm saying,
They go to
Harvin.
Christian apologists freestyling out of the Bible again.
But no, I'm agreeing with you because you said He allowed it with David. I literally was agreeing with Harvin because you said the instance with David, permissive will and perfect.
All right, that's enough. We're gonna finish the video real quick.
No, wait, hold up.
I'm finna finish the video.
Bro.
You're
letting Becky off the hook.
You're letting her off the hook. I'm finishing the video.
Oh, and it's okay, brother. It's okay. We let her fight another day.
We're sleeping with. Most people are not arguing. Becky, you lucky. They're arguing whoredom, as Melanie stated. That's from a man and a woman's perspective because they're not saying they want to be married to someone and provide and have a relationship for life with them, right? They're saying they want to have unauthorized sex with multiple people, whether that be a man or a woman. So I just think that to the whole thing about provision, kings were not to multiply wives for themselves, according to the Bible, Deuteronomy 17. I forget which verse it's in there. And priests also were not allowed to have, they weren't supposed to have multiple either because the bloodline was guaranteed through the man.
Well, look at God.
Willie don't believe in God. I don't know who you're talking about, but
I believe in God. I just don't believe in most of you Bible thumping motherfuckers.
Yeah. And you know what's crazy? I'm finna kill that statement she made. Here's what make it false. More black men are married than black women. So that killed that shit you said. Seems like the black women want to be whores more than men.
They are. Men
I mean, but more black women are celibate right now than black men. I mean, what are we gonna?
No, they're not.
So, wait, what'd you say, Becky?
Hold on, Harvin. Because this is another thing, Becky.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear. I just want to hear what she said.
I said more black women are celibate than black men.
Another good thing Becky is good at is making up shit. Because there's twice as many black men without kids as there are black women.
Kids does not equal. Whoa. Kids does not equal celibacy.
And then two, if you look at the
and it's not.
Again, if you look at the average times a woman has sex, the average times a man has sex, the average times a woman has sex is higher. And then furthermore,
hey, is my screen back working?
Yeah, it was fine.
I could see it, but yeah.
So again, listen.
Okay, what about now? Can y'all see it now?
We can still
see it.
I'm gonna give y'all some advice. Anytime BK gives you a number, ask her for the source. Free time.
Or you could just
All right.
Google it because it's free.
All right, let me finish. Let me finish this, y'all. Let me finish this.
Anytime Willie says things, make sure y'all ask him for the source and tell him
All
to
right,
put it in
y'all.
the chat.
I have my
Hold
sources
on.
ready.
Let me finish this, and y'all can argue.
I got my source for
when I get
Deuteronomy
done.
32, 8 through 9. Becky, you be ready.
However,
I love you.
if I were melanin, I would have stuck more with biology instead of the Bible, only because I feel like biology is the only leg you really have to stand on with, you know, men. It's being in their nature, you know, to have multiple women, because a man can impregnate 50 women in one day, but a woman can only be pregnant once. You know what I mean? Like, she can only carry one baby at a time, or, you know, for some people who carry multiple, that's a different story. But yes, I would more rely on, you know, the biology of things because of all the sperm that they have and how many women they can impregnate in a day.
So that's subject to opinion. That's subject to opinion, but this is also
no, that's actual biology.
This is also somewhat
that's biology.
I just love how people
know
don't
the
want me to
biology of how
interrupt,
things
but
work. You would know that
landed.
men
You not
produce
land?
billions of
you
sperm
landed. So
a
why are you
day,
talking when I'm
and
talking?
seeing as how they
I don't
produce so
understand
much
why you still
sperm,
have something
they
to say.
are able to
You already
impregnate more than
landed.
one woman
You need to be
in a
right.
single
That
day
you
because
cannot
of
be
the
quiet and let
production
me
of their
speak
sperm.
after you
So I
already
can go ahead and land
speaking,
there,
because
and you
you
can
need to be
continue to
right.
talk to
You
me
need
about
to be right.
something
You
that.
need to be right. So, like I said,
I have a
because you
question.
landed. So, like I said, okay, the reason why the Bible was referenced is because of the original question asked to me. I didn't have a problem with leaving it out. So, what you're stating should be directed towards the person that asked me a two-part question.
You're not talking about me, right?
I'm not talking to you.
No, I was saying, are you talking about me? Like I was the person? I'm just making sure, because I'm not sure if it was the other girl or me.
What was your question?
It was about were you using nature or the Bible?
Okay, thank you. So,
Yeah, so
Toya, as I said, directed to the side of you.
Yeah, so you're the one who used.
It was still directed towards you, because I was just
That's
saying
fine.
that, you know, you could
Yeah,
use the
that's
nature
okay.
instead of the Bible
That's
as a
okay.
leg to stand.
Of course, I chose what I chose.
Yeah, so the reason that you can't, that I don't think that you can, it's illogical to use nature in the Bible, is because the Bible directly contradicts nature and teaches you not to act upon your nature.
Hey, Harvin, what you think about that?
I mean, it's all bullshit, not really.
No, I asked Harvin.
Nah, no, I'm just fucking with you.
Harvin, you still there? All right, well, we can move on. I thought Harvin was still there. I wanted to see what Harvin think about that. He gonna go out and come back in. Because
my thought.
Because like if y'all don't believe in the Bible, there's certain conversation I can't have with y'all.
Well, here's the thing, man, and this is what I wanted to say earlier. Okay, first of all, I'm a preacher's kid. I come from 100 years of preaching.
Why do I keep
Secondly, can I speak? Secondly, I'm also the product of a grandfather who was a Black Panther. Right? I studied everything. First of all, there are over 2,000 religions, and there are over 200 that are created every year, right? And so here's what I was taught, and here's what I tell people. And I also read the ancient Comedics, right? Because one of the problems is I just have a problem when we argue sources that are remixed, recooked, retooled, and re-indoctrinated to fit their standards in order to control the people of the masses, and mainly a lot of us. And at the end of the day, there's this saying that you can never learn the knowledge of God in just one book. So let's get this shit straight. So I never trust nobody that every time they use every example is the Bible says, the Bible says.
So let me ask you,
hold on, I'm almost done. I don't think nobody ever said before they have surgery, hey, doc, you Christian?
I do.
Or cared. Okay? And so
I do.
Definitely, you know, plenty of Christians who ask.
Man, that's some bullshit. See, now we full of shit at this point.
No. I'm being
as I became wiser and more mature.
You know,
as I became more wiser and mature, I do ask those questions. Yeah.
Yeah, no. That's the
Are you
thing amongst Christians. I'm not joking.
Wait, I digress because I see again it's like arguing with flat earthers. Y'all got it. This shit is crazy.
No, I'm just saying that it is something that Christians do. They want a Christian doctor. They want a Christian therapist. They want people that believe
Okay,
in the
so
same
the
that
next
they
time you
believe
need
in.
blood,
So
die.
that
Because
okay,
guess
well
what? Because based off the
that's
religion, based
extreme.
off the original, off the religion, you ain't. It's a sin.
What are you
It's
But
talking
I,
about?
the
I'm talking
sin
but
about
I,
to,
but
people
I
that
to
are
bet you
eat
gonna
going
get
to
that
see
blood.
blood
your
transfusion. I
doctors.
bet you gonna get
You
Rock,
that
have a
blood
choice
transfusion.
in your
rock,
you have a choice in your
rock.
doctors. You can make a
I bet
choice
you
of
get
who
that
you
blood.
want to be your
No, but
doctor.
no, but you
What are
say
you
you
talking
honor the
about?
word. You honor the word.
Rock.
But
Hold
you
on,
don't even believe in
rock.
the word. What are you talking
No,
Let
about?
me
but it's
ask you
a
this.
I
it's a
don't believe
sin
in
to
Rock.
eat
nothing. See,
blood,
and
rock.
this is another
But
thing
see,
about
but see,
Bible thumpers.
but
Y'all
see,
King
get to
hold
James
on.
engaged
judging
in
people
chattel slavery.
But see,
and
look,
y'all
but
get
look,
to
this hard. But
assessing
rock.
who they are. You don't
So
know.
rock, are you an atheist? Because like me,
No,
I
Right.
don't.
You can't
but
I
see,
Like
you see
can't
what
me,
I'm
I
yeah.
saying?
don't argue with people that don't believe in nothing.
But see,
Don't
Like
but here's
me,
cash
my
your
point
you
though.
can't.
pearls.
Let me
Don't
Hold on,
cook.
cash your pearls.
you can't even
But see,
talk about what we
and this
talking
is
about
the
if you don't
problem when
believe
I
in
deal with
anything.
people with this Bible.
It
It's like
don't
you get
rock.
jumped
What's wrong with
on,
the
you
Bible?
get overran. I
Rock.
can't
What
even
is
speak.
wrong with the Bible?
If you let me cook, I was
Wow,
cooking something, but
bro, you still saying the
you cut
same
my
thing
eye out.
respectfully. So I'm just asking a simple question. What's wrong with the Bible?
That's a bull. I can't answer that question because it's not a fair question, but I can explain myself. As I was saying with Summer,
How is it not a fair
because
question?
it's a question a prosecutor would ask the defendant. No, it's
Mm-hmm.
not lean to go my way.
What you mean?
But
I asked a question.
it's a prosecutor's question. So here's my
Let him
point. Let
ask
me
the question.
explain. Okay, first of all, I don't believe in nothing. Okay, let me tell you something. What I was taught in physics. Either it is or it isn't, and anything in between is considered a fucking theory. Let's get that shit straight. Second, the word believe, if you look at the word itself and the root of it, it simply means believe a goddamn lie. Okay. Another thing, what African ancestor teaches you, the lie is simply the truth bending. And the problem is a lot of us are walking around defending and dying and killing for a fucking lie that ain't nothing but the truth bending. See, the thing about the books and stuff like that, or the Bibles or somebody, see, they gotta tell some truth in order for you to
But
believe the
Rock, let me ask
motherfucking
you
lie.
this. Rock,
Okay?
is everything
I
you
knew the
saying
Bible, I
Rock?
know the Bible back
Rock,
and forth, bro.
Rock, you can't know it
Yes, I can. Just because I don't choose to be a
I'm
Christian
not
don't mean I
coming.
don't. I'm a
Hold on.
preacher's kid.
Sir, I'm not even a Christian. So what are you talking about?
Okay, but you saying I don't because I simply don't agree to the bullshit rhetoric.
Hold on. I asked you a simple question. What's wrong with the Bible? You can't even answer a simple question.
It's a lot of shit wrong with the Bible. That would be 4 hours.
Tell me.
That's a long answer. It's a million things wrong with the Bible.
Okay, but what I'm saying
Bro,
is
give him one, bro. Give him one, bro.
But you're sitting up here being negative about something that
I'm not being negative about it. It's the truth. You're calling me speaking the truth negative. That's because I'm telling the truth about this shit. We are slaves to this indoctrination.
Well, you was gonna say it. You was gonna say it right the first time. You said you was gonna say my truth.
What you're doing is you're giving your opinion. That's what you're doing.
I don't give a, let me tell you, I don't donate opinions.
All right, what you're saying is not the truth, it's an opinion.
It's not an opinion, it's a difference. And see, that's
Oh,
what I'm
Rod,
saying.
give him an actual
No. See, this is when I'm above a bunch of people head. First of all, let me say this. Hold on, let me
it
say
is
this.
an opinion. How you gonna sit up here and say it's not an opinion?
It's not.
Do you want me
Rock,
to
you just yelling right
I
now.
think this is a prime example of why we don't get along as a community.
It's a difference
Rock,
between
I
an
can pull
opinion
up
and a
what opinion
perspective.
means.
Man, Rock, bro, you tripping, bro.
Hold on, Harvey, because I'm cooking. Opinions
You
and
tripping,
perspectives.
bro.
Let me cook. Opinion. The word opinion and perspective is two different words with two different spellings and two different motherfucking meanings.
Can I
I'm
ask you a
giving you
question?
my perspective, not my opinion.
Okay. All right, you give me your perspective, which is an opinion.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
But you said my perspective.
Rock, if you just
That's
give
an
him a
opinion.
fact, show him a
I'm not
fact, then he
arguing
can't
about
say
it.
it's
I
an opinion.
digress. I'm
Like,
over some
here's a
people's
fact,
head, and
Rock.
it's okay.
Just tell him that it's
okay.
mistranslated, and that'll
It's
be a fact.
okay. I'm over some people's head, and I'm okay with it. I digress.
No.
So hard. Let me ask you a question.
I'm
so
not
the
gonna
Bible,
argue what I know.
Bible. So hold on. So Harwin, from a spiritual perspective, the Bible is mistranslated.
Yes, it is, bro. Because
no, it's
just
not.
because.
No, it's
yes,
not.
it is, bro. Yes, it is because.
Okay.
So you gonna let me answer? You gonna let me answer and
bro,
disagree?
because what you're saying is dumb. I respect
No,
it.
it ain't dumb. It's a fact.
It's dumb as hell, my nigga.
What
Real talk.
Rockstar?
If you say that the Bible is spiritually misinterpreted, I mean, Bro, you tripping, man.
Absolutely, because the people
you just
changed
talking.
race.
Man, that Bible shit so
Can I
here
say?
we go.
I'm gonna train.
Won't
We
let me go. Go ahead.
Bro, because you
Won't
ain't
let
finna
me
say
go.
nothing respectful.
It's literally over 16,000 revisions of that same goddamn Bible.
It's crazy,
That's
bro.
what we wrote
I
that.
can prove I can kill 2 birds in 1 stone. All I gotta do is show you exactly where it was something was
Me and you done
changed.
had that conversation many times.
No,
You
but
done lost
I
it.
ain't never showed you this. I'm showing something
You done
different you
lost
never
it every
seen.
time, my nigga.
All right.
Every time we had a spiritual conversation about the Bible,
We
Y'all
always
be
had
tripping,
this
man. So y'all the only
conversation.
ones the Holy Spirit talk to, I guess. The Holy Spirit
No,
don't
he
talk
talked
to
to
Harlan.
everybody.
It just talk to Trey and everybody else.
He told you to what is
Like
the
what we
profit of
doing, bro?
man to gain the
Listen,
world and
we
lose
gonna
his
change
soul?
the subject, bro.
That's
I
what he
got
told
another
No, I'm
you. But
not
review.
we
changing the
gotta, can
subject. You
we
asked
And
finish
Rock
the
to
look,
show
subject?
and the
Jesus
you
crazy
asked
help
part
us.
Rock
about it,
Becky
Hall, and
I
the
got
crazy
respectfully.
part
another
about it,
review,
you ask
people.
these same motherfucking Bible thumpers about
I got
African
another
history. They don't
review.
know
Rockstar,
shit.
bro, we can't have a conversation,
Well,
bro.
I got another
maybe
review.
we start off by respecting one
But no,
another and
but
not calling
yeah,
each other
respect
I
Bible
got
somebody.
another
thumpers and
review.
stuff like
We gonna
that. I
shut it
didn't,
down.
I'm
Now,
not.
And
A,
look,
the
I'm
debate.
not speaking to y'all
thumper.
personally. I'm saying in
Take it as
general.
a
Now,
no. I mean,
Most
said it in
people,
a negative
most
way, just
we
niggas
kind
that
of
gonna
like.
argue the
move.
Bible
Listen,
don't
I
even
at
know where they
the
come
end of the
from.
day,
Nope.
only God can
Nope.
judge you.
Listen.
Most
But
motherfuckers
hey,
that
judge you
most
based on what's
most
in the
It's
book.
motherfuckers that
fine.
argue the Bible don't even know who their great grandma or
Becky,
grandfather
this the
is.
problem. See,
Listen.
That's
Becky,
how
I
this
fucked
the
know
up
my
we
problem.
are.
heritage back 7
Learn your
I'm
history
generations.
first.
going to change the
Rock.
freaking subject for the last
Man,
time.
damn, Rock, you gotta stop yelling, bro, so we can get to the point. We can show the facts. I'm with you, Rock.
You wait. I'm sorry, Harwin.
No, hey,
Can
Rebecca,
we?
I'm changing the
I'm.
subject
I
right
agree.
now. Thank
Okay.
They can't handle this. It's hot in the kitchen.
Yes, absolutely. So I've
Yes,
never been to
yes.
prison, but as I understand, you must be sentenced for a crime. So I would want to know if this is a prison planet, what is the crime that we're sent here?
Well, like Anka explained it, it's not always that you're having a
you. I got
crime,
your
but
homeboy in the
you
back, home.
do know that the Bible, because you're a Christian, right?
I am.
The Bible tells you that you're born in sin.
We are.
So to ask me what is the sin, you should already know. But I don't subscribe to that. Just if we're going to stick in the Bible says that you already are a sinner when you're born.
Yes, that's why we need.
And the Bible tells you that. So you.
Hey, you see your boy in the background? Oh,
Who you talk about, bro?
nigga, you can't see who in the background.
No, I was driving. Who is it?
Hey, you know this one of Sonetta girls right there, right?
Oh, that's Nepal. Oh, yeah. That's Nepal.
Yeah. So this is feminism versus femininity.
Oh, yeah, Nepal know the Bible. I'm gonna give her credit. She know her shit.
Boy, she talking crazy already, but I ain't gonna go there.
I mean, I ain't never seen this. I'm just talking about the Bible.
Sin?
Well, the original sin came from Adam when Adam and Eve disobeyed God.
To be honest, I'm glad you brought that up because Adam and Eve never disobeyed God.
I understand that's what you think.
They disobeyed Elohim. That was not
That's
God.
a fact.
That was a council
Wait,
of
stop the tape. Stop.
gods
Stop. Stop.
spirits.
And that's fair and that's fine. You can call
Why
him whatever
does it
you want to
matter
call
who
him.
it
So you
is?
agree
It
that
just
wasn't God?
yeah.
It matters. See, here go the spiritual thing. It matters. It matters. It goes to my point when I was talking to Becky when I brought up Deuteronomy 32, 8 through 9. Nepal is correct.
But was there still a fall, Harwin, regardless of what you're calling it? Was
it
there
was a
still a
fall, it was
fall?
a fall before them. So
Did sin
yes.
come into the world?
But that's not the point, though. That's not the point. That's
No,
not
I'm
what they talk
asking.
about.
Did sin come into the world? Is that
Yes, it
all?
did.
Is
But
that's the same thing? That's the same premise,
Hold
regardless
on.
of the
Stay right there.
timeline
Hold on.
or who
So
it was and all that.
Who did? Hold on. Something. No. Let's go back to what they said. So who did Adam and Eve disobey? Educate me.
they disobeyed Elohim. She's correct when she said that. Elohim
Who's
can be
Elohim?
used in Genesis 1:1. It says, Barashit Elohim Shamayim Bara Wa'ires. So in the beginning, God created heavens and the earth. The word there for God is a plural word of Elohim, but it's used in a sense of a singular because it's concretized, meaning the verb that modifies it makes it singular. So one of these groups is talking. So one of the group members is talking. But if you talk to a Christian apologist or somebody believe that
Again,
this is
can you just tell me, like, bro, it's just really who did they disobey?
they disobeyed Elohim.
Okay, Who is Elohim?
Elohim is a council of multiple beings.
So that's more. Elohim is more than one God.
Multiple L's. When you say God, right? You are saying like, okay, this is multiple creators. No, none of them are the Most High. The Most High would be El Elyon. This is why I told Becky when she asked me the question when she thought she
Oh,
had me in the pickle.
so
Listen, bro.
Adam and
Hey
Eve.
Trey.
No. We gonna
Trey, I'm
simplify
gonna
this.
head out, man.
So
I got
Adam.
early morning, man.
All right, Rock.
All right, thank you for having me on,
All right,
bro.
family.
All right, hey, enjoy y'all, man. Y'all be good.
All
All right,
right,
Rock. Peace out, bro.
Yes, sir. Yes,
so
sir. I got
Adam
you.
and Eve disobeyed somebody that was not the creators. What you're saying?
Adam and Eve disobeyed
Yes
those
or
of the
no?
count. Listen, bro.
Hold
Adam
on.
and
Did Adam and Eve disobey the creator?
Adam
Yes
and
or no?
Eve did not disobey El Elyon, the Most High, because El Elyon never
Okay.
said nothing to them.
Gotcha.
Elohim did.
Okay, I got you. I just wanted to see if we was on the same
Yeah.
page. Gotcha. So Adam and Eve. So sin did not fall amongst men because they didn't disobey the creator. Am I correct?
They disobeyed Elohim's commandment to them.
So because of that, there was a fall.
Yes, but it was a fall before that, which is when Angry Man come up here, he be talking about Lilith. So when y'all talking about God made one woman and one
Doctrines
God,
of demons. I gotta go
no,
to
the
sleep on this
Elohim is
one. Ah,
incorrect.
here we go. And I said what I
Whoa.
said. The
See, this is what
story of
happens.
Lilith is a doctrine of demons,
But
and
Lilith is in the Bible, though.
the word is in the Bible later on, right? It is not referred to as a fall before Adam and Eve.
It doesn't, but it's talking about a person that lived before Adam and Eve.
What did I just say?
What you said was it's mentioned after
It's
Adam
a
and Eve, but it's
demon
talking about a person that existed
because
before. A
it's a
demon is a
demon,
word.
and the
Becky, stop
reason
it.
why,
Becky, wait a
and the
minute.
reason why
Becky,
is
you
because
interjected
we
again.
know that the fall of Satan happens
The
before
fall of Satan in
Adam and Eve.
Isaiah. You talk about the fall of Satan in Isaiah?
It happens before Adam and Eve. Like I said, Lilith is a doctrine of demon.
It does. That's what you mean. A demon is a Greek word that was interjected into the Bible that makes no sense. To say
It is
angel and
a
demon.
fallen angel.
Fallen
It's
angel.
Okay,
equated
it doesn't
Dang,
matter.
to a
good
Listen,
grief.
fallen angel. So
listen. I
yes, there
hear
was
you,
a
but
fall,
see, we're getting off
quote
topic.
unquote,
Yeah, there was a
before,
fall
and
for
it
sure.
was Satan and his minions are cast out of heaven.
But that's not what we're talking about, though. We getting off topic. See,
No,
this
I'm
is we.
correcting your topic, is what I'm
You're not
saying for
correcting me
those
at
who
all.
are
You haven't
listening.
corrected me on anything.
I just did.
No, you
It's very
didn't.
simple. I just
All right,
did.
let's go back to the
You
video.
didn't correct me on nothing.
All right, let's go back to the video. We good.
All you did was validate what I said. You said it was a demon. I'm like, a demon? That's something that the Catholic Church added. See, this is the
All right,
problem
okay.
when you believe in
Okay, Harvard.
only the
That's
King James
enough.
Bible, like
Harvard,
it's
we go back
perfect,
to
and
the
it's
video,
not.
sir.
But
Thank
see,
you.
I don't agree. What I'm
Okay,
saying,
so
Oh,
can
my
you
God.
prove that wasn't God? Because I can't.
I can't prove it, and neither can you.
Oh yes, I can actually. In the Hebrew, Elohim is plural for gods. That means there's more than one. That
Facts.
leans toward my position that it is a council, not just one. So I prove it that way, and I can also prove that God isn't supposed to lie, but the Elohim did lie in Genesis 3. Actually, in the Genesis 3, they said, "Don't eat the fruit, and if you eat it, you'll die."
Right.
Adam and Eve didn't die when they ate it. So God can't.
So you agree with that, Harvey?
They did
I
surely
think he
die.
fell off.
They literally should. They may not have died right there on the spot, but they died where they had access to the tree of life, where they literally were. We don't know how long they were in the Garden of Eden and all that good stuff before the fall.
Yeah.
So they did.
Afterwards.
Right. It's they did surely die after the fall. They did die.
Well, because he was
But
talking
it doesn't mean that they die right. I eat it, I'm gone. You know, like Snow White. That's not what
like
it
telling
was
someone
saying.
if you smoke cigarettes, you'll get cancer.
They were not talking about natural. It wasn't a natural death, so they did not lie.
Right. That's I'm agreeing. It was not a lie.
It wasn't a lie. That's why I'm like, I'm listening. I'm like, this is crazy.
So all the Elohim and El Elyon thing proves is that God is a Godhead 3 in 1, right? And so that's one of the things that when people argue this, they completely miss. When Harmon says, "Oh, we was speaking to the council," yes, we know that God is multifaceted. There's the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. And some people didn't believe that that was existent since the beginning of time. But those pluralities that we see, like even when God called Adam and Eve and they were saying he was walking, it's not a singular use for walk, it's a plural use for walk. Why? Because we are the belief, and it's revealed later on, the multiple facets of God, which is the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. So her argument doesn't actually disprove anything that the Bible says.
I agree.
Yes,
And
it
he said,
does.
let us. He said, let us make man
Big
us.
man in
So,
our
Wait a minute.
image.
so we're not disagreeing. Like it just, it said, let us make man in our own image. Our plural. So it's just,
It's a Christian
we're
apologetic.
agreeing. You going in and out, Harlan. Anybody there?
I don't know. Oh, Trey had to get up and do something real quick, so we can't
And I
even
think
take
Harlan
video.
is going in and out. But yeah, when they said let us make man in our own image, so we're not disagreeing, right? In a sense. But the way that it's being applied is
Is
kind of like,
incorrect.
do you get what I'm saying? Like, so I don't.
Correct.
We shouldn't
Right.
even be arguing. We shouldn't even be arguing the word anyway. Technically, So I don't know. And people that don't believe and all that good stuff, like I don't try to engage with that because they don't have the ear to hear it at the moment. Hopefully they can the Holy Spirit can penetrate them, they can put it on the shelf and it'll come back to them. But those that don't believe, especially
Yo, can you hear me?
now
Yeah,
we
we can hear you
can.
now.
Yeah. The Elohim don't got nothing to do with the Trinity.
Yes, it does. You don't believe
Okay,
that,
so
but
here we go
we
to
believe
Psalms
it.
82, chapter 6. When it calls everybody
Dang.
Elohim, does that mean we all part of the Trinity? Because if you're gonna
Yes.
say that, you're gonna have to substantiate that with substantiate that with actual Hebrew grammar.
Yes, we are all a part of God.
No, I didn't ask you that. I said a part of the Trinity.
Yes, we are all a part of it.
So
The
so
Holy
which
Spirit literally lives in us. We
that's
are
true.
saved through the
Hold
blood
up,
of Jesus
wait a
Christ.
minute.
We are
That's not.
made in their image. So yeah, we are part of it. Now, if you want to continue to be a part of it and not go to hell, I suggest you give your life to Jesus Christ according to John 3:16. But
Yeah, it's
you can
I
be
hear you,
permanently separated
but you just
from
ignored
them.
what I said, Becky. I'm gonna ask
I
you
didn't.
again.
I
You
just
did. I
answered it.
said, can you show me in Hebrew grammar how the word Elohim in Genesis 1:1, Genesis 1:27, and in Psalms 82:6, how that word is talking about the Trinity using Hebrew grammar?
So the Trinity is a concept that through the Bible, it is revealed, right? That God's spirit comes upon man, right? You see that in Belizel,
Mhm.
right? He's one of the first people that God's spirit came upon him so that he could be multifaceted in the arts to build the temple, right? So we see that, God's spirit can not depart from him, but it can enhance, like fall upon somebody, right? And allow them to be able to do miraculous things. In a story of Belizel, that's one of the examples, right? Saul, the spirit of God came upon him, and all the things. So we already see that in the Bible, his spirit is thing. Then we see the manifestation of Jesus, which is the
I
Son
know
of
you're not
God,
talking about
God
the
in
angel of the Lord.
God's form. No, I didn't say that. Jesus, if you God, in human form, Son of God,
Becky,
right?
you're not answering my question.
All the things. So no, I'm clarifying that the Trinity, the word Trinity is never mentioned in the Bible.
I'm not talking
It
about
is
the word. That's
the
not what I
verbiage
asked
we
you. We don't got
use.
to clarify that because I didn't
Okay.
ask you that. I agree, it's not in there. My question to you again, I'll repeat it. Can you use Hebrew grammar inside of Genesis 1:1, coincided with Genesis 1:27, and that coincided with Psalms 82:6 with the uses of the Hebrew word Elohim and how it was used in ancient times and in ancient Near East? Because I heard you talk about the ancient Near East earlier, so let's do it now. Real quick. Can you
I
show
don't
us the Trinity concept, not the word, the concept in there using Hebrew grammar?
I just told you that it's
No, you didn't. You
multiple
didn't mention Hebrew
times.
grammar.
I just said there's multiple times where Hebrew grammar is used in reference to God.
No, I mean
And
specifics.
I don't
Okay, let me give you an
listen.
example. Let me give you an example.
Me and Summer just talked about the very first one. Let us make man
That's not
in
Hebrew
our
grammar. That's not what I'm
image,
Becky.
right?
Becky, slow down, slow down. Okay, let's use that verse. Let us make man in our image. When I ask you to show me Hebrew grammar, this is what I mean. What is the word there for make in Hebrew? And I'm gonna answer for you. The word there is asha. That means to make. Now, is that in a singular sense or a plural sense? Asha is in a plural sense. But Elohim, when it said let us, that command right there is in a singular tense. So that modifies the Hebrew word, the proper noun, the proper noun Elohim in that verse. So what does that mean? That means it's plural in the sense of a council is talking, but there is one of them talking to the council. That Elohim there is not talking about just three persons in personage of one. In the
I
Near
didn't.
East, one
Mhm.
second, I'm asking you to do what I asked you to do, and you didn't do, so now I'm doing it for you. And in Ugarit, when you see the oldest times of the term Elohim being used, it's
Mhm.
talking about a council. How can we substantiate that? When you go to Deuteronomy 32, 8 through 9, the Masoretic text was altered by the Masoretes, and it was altered again by King James and the Anglican Church. When it says there, it gives you a lot of the Most High's inheritance. It shows you the actual counsel right there. A lot of its inheritance, it says Yahweh is to Israel, and Yahweh is mentioned as one of the Beni Elohim. Inside of the Masoretic text that the King James Bible is coming off of, it says something completely different. It altered the text in Hebrew. So it took away the idea showing you that there was a council of beings that Nepal is talking about in Genesis 1:1 and Genesis 1:27. That would mean that Yahweh is a Ben Elohim, which means a son of the Elohim of the El Elyon mentioned in the previous verse in 32:8, Deuteronomy 32:8. This is a council. This has nothing to do with a Trinity, sister.
No, you believe that there's nothing to do with the Trinity system.
No, it's
I
not a
just
belief.
said,
It's because of Hebrew
Harwin,
grammar. It's not my
Harwin, I love
belief.
you, right? But you just used a whole bunch of fancy words to say what I just said in very plain
No,
English,
I
which
didn't.
was
No, I didn't. No,
that
I didn't.
All
that
right, we're
phrase.
going back to the
Let
video. That's good.
yeah,
We're going back to
but
the video.
Lie, so
They
that couldn't
didn't
have been
die
God.
immediately, but they did die eventually.
So, do you know in the scripture that it actually says, in the day you eat it, in the moment you eat it? Do I
Mhm.
need that too?
No, I think your
it's
voice
not.
is loud enough.
My voice, I'm an orator.
Mhm.
So, loud, you could use that.
Mhm.
But anyway, the Bible says, when you eat it, in the moment you eat it, that's the scripture,
Mhm.
you will die. Not later. It doesn't say, Christians have been taught that.
Mhm.
So you can understand and cope with the lie that's been told you, that the serpent is evil. So it says you'll die immediately. And at the
So you
wait,
do.
can you keep playing that?
I know.
Because I
I am
think you
gonna
about
play
to.
it. I am gonna play it. We're not gonna stay here long. I'm gonna ask Owen a simple question. I don't need you give me no goddamn Hebrew and going all day long. Did Adam and Eve not die spiritually? Yes or no? Is it there? Harvard. Harvard.
end of
Can you
that
hear me?
chapter,
Did Adam and Eve die spiritually? Yes or no? When they ate from the fruit.
That's being contested, but that's not what that verse is talking about
Okay.
spiritually at all. It's talking about
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. But bro,
no,
we
it's
ain't gonna
not.
go there. Yes, it is. But I'm
No,
gonna
it's
leave it alone.
not.
It is.
See, we don't want to
the
go into King
Elohim
James who
becoming
practiced chattel slavery that altered
oh
the
wow,
text.
they ate it. Now they're going to be like us. Wait, I thought you said they were going to die. Now they're going to be like you gods. So really, you just told them you didn't want them to eat it because you didn't want them to be gods.
Well, I
Stop right
believe
there.
that God created us in his image. And he said when he created male and female, it was to reflect him. We can debate this all day. I don't think you can prove it, nor can I prove it, because neither of us were there. And that's why it's
Well,
called.
wait a minute. I
wasn't
thought you believed
finished.
in the Bible.
I do. May I finish?
Sure.
Okay. That's why it's called faith. And I had the same questions when I was coming up. If we had all of the answers, we wouldn't need to believe.
Facts.
All of us choose what our faith is. I do believe in the Bible. I do have questions about the Bible. I respect that there were faiths before Jesus came, but for me and for my house and for what works for me, I believe to follow Christ. Yes, there are discrepancies. Yes, there are things that are painful to read, especially in the Old Testament, but it doesn't mean that for me, it's not true.
Okay, well, you went into a lot of your beliefs,
but that's what faith is.
Yeah, I don't want to go into faith. I want to talk about the Bible.
I'm not a Bible scholar.
Okay, then you agree that the Elohim were not God.
I never said that.
Okay,
I said I believe in the God of the Bible. I understand that you have facts that you really want to prove, but we could do this all day and all night. For me, the life that we are given, the time that we are here on this earth, is to make it better, to use the gifts and talents that we were given. Whatever you believe is to leave this place better than you found it. For me, I promote marriage and family, and I think that's what's a priority.
Sister.
I believe God told us to go forth and multiply and to take dominion of
that's
the
real
earth
convenient.
and to use the resources that he's given us to make it better. So you can spend your life debating biblical facts, and that's totally fine. I choose to do otherwise.
Okay, well, I'm here to actually debate and tell the truth. So let me get back to the prison planet thing.
Okay.
You, on one hand, say you don't think it's a prison planet, right? Because you said you need a sentence to get into.
Can you pause it?
As
Becky, what does Genesis 3:22 say?
Genesis 3:22. Hold on, I gotta look at it. Genesis 3 is
So Nepal is in a polygamous relationship, right?
Yeah, she is. So I got a couple wives.
Which was Nepal, the one with the hat?
Yeah, the one that's talking with the glasses on.
Yeah, so she's not legally married. She's just a side chick, basically.
No, they in. I mean, if that's what you
No.
say.
They are not legally married, right?
Yeah, but in the law, it also says you have the right to your religion.
I'm just asking a simple question: are they legally married? If Sarnetta was to pass today, she would have no legal right to anything, correct?
I don't know because I don't know what contracts they sign with each other. You have to ask them. That's a personal.
You can actually sign contracts in
you can't say, my nigga. God dang, my nigga, y'all can't just be honest.
I have a question for
How am I
Harwin.
not being honest? I don't know what they got going on. Wait a minute,
It don't
Becky
matter
gotta
the
read
contract.
this.
What do you mean, my nigga?
I have a quick question for Harwin.
I'm talking about what's gonna be honored.
I don't know if they got life insurance policies or what's going on. I don't know.
Harwin, I have a question for you. With the other religions that we have out here, do you agree or have you did any research that it all stems from the Bible? Like it's just it branched off of what people interpreted or what they wanted to do and what they wanted to worship?
The Bible stemmed from other texts that's older than what we call in the canon Bible today. That's the 66 in the King James. That stems from text that is predates it. So what Christian apologists like to do is say, hey, the Dead Sea Scrolls proves that the Bible is ancient. Meanwhile, the Dead Sea Scrolls has a different narrative than what the modern English we're using. So does this Bible come from something ancient? Absolutely. That's why I read it. But if you asking me, does this stem from the same thing, come from this Bible? No, it's the other way around. This Bible stemmed from text that's older than this. And then these Europeans got together and compiled and chose this canon, which goes against canon that predate it, which is why I brought up the Ethiopian Bible earlier.
But some of the things that you're quoting, you're agreeing with. So some of the things you believe that are in the Bible are correct, but some of it was misinterpreted and things of that nature, right?
Yeah, but we gotta be clear.
But the essence of the Bible is what I'm asking you believe in. But you've gone above and beyond. You studied to show yourself approved by going into the Greek and going into the Hebrew and translating so that you can have a deeper, better understanding to what the truth is.
I don't know, that ain't me.
That's me.
Mute your TV, Summer, so I can hear what you were saying.
Give me a second.
Oh yeah, the let us make man in our image. Behold, man has become like.
Hello, is Becky talking? I can't hear.
Yeah, she talking.
Damn, I'll come on, go back in. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah,
Yeah,
she's going in now for me too.
no stream yard be tripping, bro.
I don't know.
Oh,
Maybe
so
it's a
she going
network.
out. I hear Summer though. Maybe she got to go up.
I don't know.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you
Yeah,
now.
now we can.
All right, Summer, what you was saying?
No, I said I'm picking up what you put down in regards to, because my brother and I, we have hours and hours of conversations about the same subject matter, about how the Bible has been translated several different ways and how we're interested in studying the Hebrew text
Mhm.
and the, all the, so we could have a clear understanding, because the Bible is really us just trying to get closer to God and know him better, right? And build
Right.
relationship. So in order to build a successful relationship, you have to know the truth about who you're building a relationship with. So I'm not disagreeing with you that some of the wording was transcribed maybe differently, or some of the scriptures that we read a certain way, if it's transcribed differently, we may get a deeper or better understanding as to what it means. But my question is, overall, Harwin, the totality of the Bible with you transcribed it, you changed it, do you believe in Jesus? Do you believe that he died, rose again on the third day? Do you believe in Jesus?
No, I believe in a historic. This what me and Trey be talking about all the time. I believe in that. I don't believe in my. If you ask me, I say that I know a man we call Yeshua walked this earth for sure. I will argue that up and down with anybody. I was arguing it on Shot Another TV. But my point is this: just because something, and let me answer your other point too. The essence of it to me, God is love. So if that's what you mean by the essence of it, yes, I agree.
Right.
But
Okay.
yeah, I agree with that wholeheartedly. I mean, we can prove that up and down, and I think me and Becky agree on that. But
Yeah.
if you was to tell me that we should study to show ourselves approved, and we're going to act like it wasn't just misinterpretation, Summer, there were whole scriptures of words that were altered from another word, and another other words were implanted to give a different message completely.
Right.
That's a difference between making an honest mistake of mistranscribing something, or forgetting to translate this verse here and there, or like honest transcribable mistakes that can happen among men, because men are men and they're transcribing text, right? I can understand that. But when you take text and don't add text in there that is God inspired to your Bible, you are altering people's perception on what the original message was supposed to be fully. You are changing it and putting something, you're inserting your opinion. When the church fathers like Eusebius say that it is okay to tell a lie for the greater good, I got a problem with that.
Right, because God can't stand the lie.
Exactly. So when a church father that helped compile and help keep this text so-called sacred, we supposed to trust these people that transcribe this text. They'll
So I
say
got a
something like
question
that.
though to
But
that one.
Harwood, it said both of those things. Oh,
Biblically
okay,
though,
okay.
biblically though, what do you consider what Rahab did?
What do you mean?
What did Rahab do?
What did he do that's
What
wrong?
did
What do we do?
she do? Nope. What did Rahab do? Did she not tell a lie?
Did Rahab tell a lie?
Correct. Did Rahab tell a lie?
I mean, what point we getting at?
So here's the thing,
Are you
right?
are you justifying the church fathers because you believe in the King James? I mean, I'm trying to see something.
No, I'm just
Are you
saying.
justifying a church father that supposedly we supposed to trust our soul with?
Well,
Our
we're not trusting
soul.
our soul. So here's
Yes,
my
we are.
always issue when
Wait.
no. Here's
We
my
are
issue when we
trust
always bring up in
Right.
one. We know that humans are
Becky.
flawed, right? And so just as we
Yes, humans are
see,
flawed, but there are honest mistakes, there are purposeful mistakes. When you
correct,
when you
right?
when you tell a lie on purpose, because I'm trying to see where you going with this, and I'm telling you, if the people, the church father, we are trusting with our soul because you believe in the King James Bible, right?
I believe that it was a great translation. Yes.
You believe in it, you would take it to the grave, right? You trust your
Yeah.
soul with it, right?
Well, no, I trust my soul in Jesus Christ and what He did at the work on the cross. So
Okay,
even if
but when
Right,
because
okay,
because
I
so
know but here's the thing, right? I believe that just like the thief on the cross, right, who didn't get
right,
but a few minutes or seconds to believe in Jesus, he didn't get to live a good life, he didn't get to do anything. I believe that ultimately it's the belief and the following of Jesus that gets you there. There are people in this world who will never get a Bible, who believe in Jesus because they get a piece of a Bible. If
but
even
we're
if they
not doing
never
that
read
though,
it, no,
Becky.
here's my
That's not what
thing
I'm
though.
saying though, Becky.
even if they never get it, they still have the ability access to heaven just as much as I believe that I have, even though I have the Bible.
I
One, and
agree.
I always ask people this: at what point does God in your life becomes greater than man? So my number one issue when people
That's my
argue, oh,
problem with
these
that though.
translations. No, this is my number one issue when people argue, oh, translations, it's been touched. Da, 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 da. At what point does your God become greater than anybody in this earth? My soul is never
What?
entrusted to the people who write it, but that God is greater than every
Right.
single person who has ever
That's
lived.
that's a
That
cop
He
out,
can
Becky.
keep. No, it's not a cop out.
It
It's
is
a
because
literal
your
thing.
view on the
Because
Bible is based
But
no,
I
upon their
think God
no,
translation.
loves
it's
it so
not.
much,
It's literally
Yes, it
I think
is.
based
God,
on who God is.
right.
And at
I
No,
some
believe
point,
God
He
loves,
has to be greater than people.
right,
At
I
some
agree.
right.
point,
That's why
God
I'm
has
not
to be
trusting the
greater than
people. I'm
people.
not trusting the people though. You are. I'm trusting
No,
God.
you're.
So
But
but
if you
no,
trust
no,
I
no,
believe,
no, no,
God,
no.
how can you
I'm
not trust the book? Or
because
I'm
that
not
book
saying you
because
have to trust the
God
King
didn't write
James
that
version.
book.
No,
God
I'm
didn't
not
write the
saying you
King
have
James
to.
but
version. What we doing?
but
Wait,
God loves it so much that He
Summer,
put
wait a
both
minute.
things
Summer,
in.
wait. I
Hold
hear
on,
you.
Harmon. Hold on, Harmon. He put both things in there, just like I could go and see that a
He didn't
liar
put
will
that in
not
there though.
tarry
That's the
in
point.
God's sight.
That's the point, Summer. He didn't put that in there. Becky trying to say that, oh, at what point does God take over with man? And I'm like, wait, that's my point. Because God didn't write this version. Can both y'all agree God didn't write this Bible y'all got in your hand?
I believe that God controls
No, that's
the
not my
versioning
question. I'm
of the
gonna ask you
Bible.
again. Did God write this Bible we got in our hand?
You mean physically right?
1611.
You mean physically right, right? No.
Even inspire.
Yes. Of course he
You
did.
believe God inspired the church fathers to compile the 1611 version from the Latin Bible. Are you sure?
I
You believe
believe
that?
that the King
Okay, so
James
if I show
version
you that the Latin
of the
Bible,
Bible.
if I show you the Septuagint that was said to be at the time of they claimed that the Septuagint was living at the was real at the time, existed at the time of Jesus. If are you saying that one that he was reading, that means that God entrusted them people when he told them in Revelations not to change one dot or thistle in this text? Are you saying that there is not one change because you trusted that this is God inspired by these Europeans that changed it? You're saying that there's no changes from the Septuagint to the Dead Sea Scrolls to the text we got now? Yes or no?
I
I
believe that the Bible that I read, which is actually a
That's
Jewish.
not my
Wait, no,
question.
no, 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 no. I'm gonna just. Well, I technically read a Jewish translation, right? I do use King James for reference, just FYI. But I believe, and they're pretty much akin to each other.
What's
You
akin to
know,
each other?
the Jewish Bible that I read versus the King James version. What I
Is
do
the Jewish?
understand.
No, my question is this though:
Mhm.
is that text akin to the ones that is said to be the alleged original text? It's a yeah, yeah, yeah. No. Do you
Yeah,
trust that that's God inspired? So that
correct.
means if I go into the Dead Sea Scrolls, which is accepted in academia and accepted in about Jews and Christians, that this Bible this text found substantiated the historicity of the Bible. So that means I shouldn't go when Wes Hupp did this same thing talking to Billy Carson when he lied. So that means I shouldn't find not one change from the Dead Sea Scrolls to the Septuagint to the one we got right now. There should be
No,
no
you just
change word.
now just listen to what you said. The Dead Sea Scrolls prove the ancientness, right, of a number of the texts.
Yes, it show because
What
the
it does not.
wait, let me be clear. It does
Mhm.
because the Septuagint, the Dead Sea Scrolls prove that the Septuagint indeed was translated from an ancient Hebrew text. There was no proof of that
Correct.
until they found the Dead Sea Scrolls.
Right.
The
Right. So that's
Septuagint
what.
actually agrees with the Dead Sea Scrolls,
Right.
but the King James Version doesn't agree with the Septuagint and the Dead Sea Scrolls.
So here's the thing: the King James version, from because I asked someone who's Ethiopian, right? He's an Ethiopian Jew, about their original Bible, and I said, "Is there anything in the Ethiopian Bible that would alter your belief in Jesus Christ?" And he said, "No." I said, "Is there anything that would change how you practice your religion?" He said, "No." So one of the things that I think
That
that,
don't mean he proficient in knowing it though. You can ask any Christian out here
well, I
will something
mean,
alter their
But
belief.
isn't it the
he's from a.
belief in the faith, and it's not about you knowing the Bible
It
frontward
is
and
because it says he
backwards, and
shall know the truth and the truth shall make you free.
yes, Harvard. But here's the thing: God puts
But the
people on
truth
this
is
earth,
about Jesus.
such as yourself, to educate us and for us to go a little bit deeper and want to go research a little bit deeper. I think that's what your purpose is on these panels, because you get us thinking, like, oh, let me go look at that, let me go do that. However, that's why I asked you. But what is the essence Because you keep
Summer,
trying
I
to say,
already
it's, oh,
agreed
well,
with the
no, Harvard.
essence.
No, I get it. So that's what I'm saying. Like, what is the, are you arguing because you want people to educate themselves? Because just
No,
like
I'm
BK
arguing because
says,
I don't want their
if you
soul to
believe
end
that
up in
the
hell.
yes, but is knowing, if you still believe that this current Bible, the King James Bible that we have, holds the essence of what God is, which is love, right? Because that's what you said the essence
Because
is
it's in there.
truly.
I can't
All right,
deny it,
right,
but it's
right,
other
right.
messages
So
in it
if
too that we can't
it, so
ignore.
so God said, do not add it or take away from my word. He knew this. He's an all-loving God that he already knew that they was going to do this to this Bible because he's Alpha and he's Omega, he's beginning, he's the end, right? Because he loves us so much. He puts people on the earth like you to get us to think a little bit more deeper and to go deeper to see if, hey, does this really mean this, that, and the third? But the essence of Christ is in this version of the Bible that we're reading because God loves us so much.
Man, you can find the
So,
truth in anything, Summer. You can find the truth
but
in a liar.
do you
Well, see,
disagree with me? Do you disagree with me,
I
Harlan? What I just
already
said?
agree with you back then,
Okay,
about 10 minutes ago. But my
your
point,
purpose is when you come in is you want people to educate themselves a bit deeper to get a closer relationship with God and to know that there's different nuances and changes that we might be aware of. But if the essence of the
no, that we're
Bible, like I
not
just
aware of.
said, that we're not aware, right? But if the essence of the current King James Bible reflects God and His love, and it does actually lead us towards what our salvation is, which is Jesus Christ, and it has all those things in it, are you just, are you now
Summer,
just
can I ask
studying
you a
just to be
question?
studying, or
No,
are
I'm
you
not studying, be
studying to get
studying. I'm
closer
studying.
to God?
What you mean? I just answered that question. Now it's like kind of becoming like,
No,
listen, when
I'm just trying
somebody
to ask
disagree.
what the. No, I'm not disagreeing with you, Harvey. I think
No,
you
no,
have a
no, no, no,
purpose
no.
on the
I'm not saying
panels
you're
to say what
disagreeing
you're
with me.
saying. Yeah.
What I'm saying is when Christian apologists have somebody disagree with them, they come to these type of arguments. And I'm cool with this because just because that part of the essence, yes, I rock with. Me, you, and Becky both
Yeah.
agree that yeah, we rock with that part. But then there's another part of the essence of it that can send you all the way off. Are we and my you said it is might be my calling to teach the people about that. So when
Right.
I teach you about that, if God knew that, of clearly he knew, he knows all things. If the most high knew that these things would be altered, why wouldn't
Right.
our people listen to the people that you say sent to help them show them that these things were altered? Clearly it's for a reason. If the most high put it that way.
No, I actually agree with you being on the panels.
Okay,
I think where it kind of goes left,
we
Harlan,
talking
is
about a
that the things
text.
that are important for the soul, right? You like to get people to be very
I'm talking
logistical
about
and
what's
know for
important
a
for the
fact.
soul, Summer. I'm
But
talking
Harvard,
you
that's what I'm trying to tell you. What you do is sometimes you focus more on being right,
no,
knowledge
that's not
wise,
what
and
I'm
using the
doing. That's
right
just your
words than
perception.
it is.
No,
No,
incorrect.
I was gonna say, but there are moments,
Summer,
but
you are 100% correct.
Wow. So I'm just up here just to be arguing. I got you.
not to argue, but I think you want to you know your knowledge so much is that instead
It's
of
not
getting
about
into
my
the
knowledge.
nitty
It's not
gritty,
about
you
that,
like to
Summer.
correct people on what it really truly is rather
No,
than
that's
looking
not what
at
it's
the essence of
about.
the conversation sometimes.
That's
That's
not what
all.
it's about.
well,
That's not what it's about.
yeah.
It's not
Sometimes,
about me
not all
trying
the
to.
time. I get it.
Harwin
I
ain't
get
up
it.
here, man. I swear to God, Harwin ain't up here to just to display. He knows so much. Like I'm not no lame. To me, that's a lame. What?
No, no.
But I'm saying to me, that's a lame. You may not agree. To me, somebody
Yeah.
spewing knowledge, random knowledge, just to be doing it is lame. That's
No,
Well,
not
I
what
don't
I'm
think you're
doing.
doing that just to
Some
be.
no,
I'm not saying that. Okay.
Oh, but that's what it sounds like. But what I'm
no,
saying is
he,
this.
No, I'm not saying that at all. No, I'm not.
Okay, but what I'm saying is still important to when we talking about what's good for the soul. If
I
somebody
said that.
Summer, yeah, but Summer, if I told you a lie and consistently
Mm.
told you a lie and told you another lie and told you another lie, would you believe anything that come out my mouth?
No.
Okay, so if belief is our salvation, even though it says he shall know the truth, why are we taking beliefs over wanting to know?
well, see, here's the thing. I
Here we
personally
go.
don't. I personally don't believe some of the theology that Harwin spits. Just no offense, right? I'm
Ain't
more
no
of
offense
a,
taken.
you know, I'm more of the effect of it is what it is. Either you're going to read the whole thing, decide for yourself if you're going to believe it or not. And even when the things that you don't understand that we cannot substantiate because like knowledge, right? One of the things that I love when people talk about translations, terrible, what we see as terrible today and how we use it does not mean that 100 years ago, or I mean 1,000 years ago, didn't even mean it 2,000 years ago, right? When we're talking about certain words and how we use them, like think about how we use bad.
That's
Do you
not
know
what
how
I'm
many
talking
years
about,
ago
Becky.
we didn't even use
That's
bad
not.
in the positive connotation? We use it in negative connotation. If
I
someone
agree,
read how we wrote certain things right now or heard certain music, they'd be like,
but
oh,
that's
you're
not what I'm talking
changing
about,
things.
Becky.
If someone years later redid Michael
Becky,
Jackson's no, wait, wait, hold on. If someone years later redid Michael Jackson's song and said she looked banging instead of, or whatever the terminology is for someone really looking good, or
yeah, it is
whatever, right?
banging. Yeah, I got you.
Right? We'd be
Yeah,
like,
like
oh my God, it's changed. Well, no, they
yeah,
use
but
the
that's
current
not what I'm talking about,
terminology
Becky.
to define what it
That's
meant
not
back
what I'm
then.
talking about, Becky.
So wait,
I'm a
no,
linguist, Becky.
I understand that,
So
but
when you
you're
do
also
linguistics,
no.
when you
Listen, I'm trying to say for people. This isn't for you, Harwin. I'm more so
it
talking to the
is it, but
people.
you talking to
No,
me,
I'm
and
talking.
then we
I'm
both
talking
talking to the
about
people listening.
people listening. Yes, just like you talk to people listening, I'm about to talk to them listening. Right. So one of the things that I always tell people to do is don't take anybody's word for nothing. I don't care if
For
it's
sure.
me, the preacher, your mama, your daddy, whomever. Read the Bible for yourself. Get as many translations as you need for yourself. Look at all the historical context, the Jewish culture, the Babylonian cultures, the Macedonian cultures, the whatever you need to look at for Roman cultures for yourself. Make the decision for yourself about if you believe this text is true or not. Because at the end of the day, we're going to argue our personal perspectives, as someone else said, right? We're going to argue our perspectives, but the belief in the Bible is a miraculous one. The belief in Jesus is a miraculous event. There's no type of nothing that's going to help you to say he is the way, the truth, and the light, and no man will go to the Father but through him. I mean,
It is when there's older texts that say that that's in different cultures. So this is
no,
the
it
problem.
won't. No, that will help
It
you,
will
but I'm
because
telling
it's
you, Harwin,
listen,
I'm
But
telling
Becky.
but
you,
but what if that was not the first time that ever existed or
Yeah,
happened?
that's what I just
because
said.
the
But sister,
prophecies have been prophesied since the beginning of time. If you understand
but the
how the
problem
Bible
is
is
when
written, right?
Africans prophesy it though, Becky, it's
But
called pagan and
it's
devil worship.
thank you.
When they
It's on
prophesy
the
it, they call it Greek translating the Bible, and it's okay for them to have wings on. But when people, if I was to put up a picture of an ancient Egyptian so-called god, people will call it pagan. When pagan just simply means outer field. Simply mean that somebody who's on the outside. So they're saying, oh, you're less than us, so you're thinking different from us, and you guys are Hamites, and you come from Ham, from the book of Noah, and you're cursed, even though it says Canaan is cursed, but we're going to say Ham is cursed, even though the Bible says something different. But we're going to give you a Bible, and it's going to have little white people with wings, and that's fine. And we can have Catholic Church dedicated to Saint Michael the angel and Saint Mary and this, and that's not
Which is
pagan
not
worship.
biblical, and it
But
is
when you
pagan
see
worship.
my point is this though, Becky,
well, who
when you say
determines what is
when
pagan?
you say that's my point.
We
When you
determine
say
it. Well,
we're
when
not
we're
talking
arguing,
about
we're determining it based on the Bible. So,
yeah, the Bible, but again, the Bible has been changed, and you're trying to diminish what I'm saying in the sense of I'm talking about translations, like it's a word that you have to understand in that ancient time and how they use it at that time. I
Who wrote
understand
the
that. I'm a
Bible?
linguist.
Who
I
wrote the
speak
Bible?
multiple. 1 second, sister, please. I read these languages for real, like not no game. So when we look at this, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about actual specific words that were purposely removed and other words were inserted that meaning something completely different at the time it was inserted. When the Septuagint and the Dead Sea Scrolls in Deuteronomy 32, 8 through 9, theirs is closely very similar. But when you look at Deuteronomy 32, 8 through 9 from the Masoretic text, which is which is what the King James Version is saying, it's saying something completely different. It's a completely different concept that from now in 2,000 years ago, 3,000 years ago, it's giving you an idea.
I still got a video to review.
It's
But
okay, cool. It's
I
giving you Becky, it's a completely different idea.
I will say this is that when it really comes down to it, if you actually go to Egypt, you'll see all the concepts in the Bible actually on the actual pyramids. So which existed way before the Bible was ever written. So when you can actually go to the pyramids and see the things on the wall that are in the Bible, like what came first, the chicken or the egg? So the concepts in the Bible come from concepts that existed way before it ever existed.
And one is demonized and the other ain't demonized. And we gonna act like it ain't.
Well, one, I mean, one of the things that I always be like about, right, is carbon dating, right? And so when you say, oh, this existed before the Bible, one, that could be true if you are in the belief that from Genesis, right, to Deuteronomy, the written word, right, was not supposed to have started until the time of Moses.
But
So
we don't
if
have
we
no
believe,
text from Moses' time period, Becky.
Okay,
So
when
that
was
disproves what you're
papyrus
saying.
invented?
We have no papyrus written by Moses at all.
First of all, when was papyrus? Because papyrus come from Egypt. Okay,
well,
so
right, but they were in
so how
Egypt
did they write
according
the
to the
Bible
biblical text.
down?
Yeah,
How
they
did they
were.
write
I
the
agree,
Bible
Becky.
down prior to Egyptian writing
I
the
agree,
pyramid?
Becky. They were
We
in
didn't
Egypt.
write down
There's papyrus.
anything. We didn't
Y'all
write down
did.
anything but
When
on
you look at the
caves and
Sadabet El
oration.
Kadim text, it is written down. It's written down at the El Sadabet Kadim. This is why the Hebrew alphabet is nothing more than a watered down Egyptian alphabet. You can see it. You can see them
Well,
worshiping El and the El Sadabet Kadim. You see it, and it's a picture of a so-called Egyptian deity that they're calling El. But if you was to put up an Egyptian picture for Becky, I guarantee you she would call it pagan. I guarantee you she will call it a false god. But in the oldest Canaanite and Israelite versions of worshiping El, Yahweh, etc., you will see motifs that is clearly Nubian. And then if anybody show that, they will be called pagan. They would say you're worshiping idols. Then they would use the book of Exodus and say, see, in Exodus, they were doing this. But they won't tell you that in the other parts of the Bible, Assyrians were oppressing people. Those are not indigenous Egyptians. They won't go to the book of Second Kings. They won't go to the book of Second Kings and see that Yahweh saw fit to have Taharka the Nubian come save King Hezekiah. They won't go look at Hezekiah's seal and see that his unks on there. Would you call that idol worship? Of course you would if you didn't know the history. But when you know the history of it, you clearly see a whole concept and cultures have been changed. People have been called pagan that's been plagiarized. Becky?
And here's the thing: is that when you actually dig deeper into the Bible, all this stuff came out of Ethiopia, and then you got this Pauline thing that you call Christianity is based on the New Testament. That's being a Paulism. That's not even Paulism is what you are practicing. Not even modern. It's a Paul is the person, and he came way after Jesus. He wasn't even a disciple. He wrote the book of all the new, a lot of the books in the New Testament. Paul.
He wrote some of those epistles. He ain't write all of them.
All right, let me get back to
I understand it. When you go to prison, you are convicted of a crime and you are sending of your time.
Original sin.
Yes, the original sin. But when God first created the earth and he created Adam and Eve and humans, he said it was beautiful and he was pleased with his creation. After our choice of sin, then we now have the sin and the consequences that come from that. But we were not born with sin.
So you don't agree with the Bible?
I do agree with the Bible. Yes, I have questions about certain things, but I don't believe that I don't believe the earth is a prison. I believe that the life that we have and the earth is what you make of it. You can choose to live a miserable life. You can be in prison in your mind. I choose to look at the blessings that we have, the bountiful goodness that we have, the forgiveness that we have, the grace that we have, the beauty all around us. I really think it's up to you to decide, and that's what I choose.
Do you think atheists don't look at the beauty and look at
No,
that?
absolutely. As far as I know, and I'm not.
So it's not exclusive to Christians?
Absolutely not. And I said that. I know that there are several faiths that came before Jesus was here, and I respect everybody else's faith. As I understand it, and I'm not a religious scholar, but atheists don't believe in the God of the Bible. But you can look at the majesty all around you. You can look at the ocean. You can look at the mountains. You can look at a beautiful flower, colors, and you can appreciate that beauty.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Well, this isn't really, if you don't debate and you're telling me about all these beautiful things, maybe you're not the person I should be talking to, because I want to speak to someone who actually would be able to dispute the information that I'm presenting. You're not really disputing anything that I'm saying.
I'm not trying to convince you. That's why it's faith.
That's great.
It's a choice.
I love you for that. I would like to speak to someone who wants to dispute the facts that I'm bringing out. If there's anybody else who could
do you want to make a final statement?
Yeah, my final statement is that I believe in the God of the Bible. I am a Christian. It is a choice. It is faith. We don't have all the answers, but I believe in promoting marriage and family, and that's why I'm here. And I believe that's what we're supposed to do.
That's awesome. Is there any Christian here that believes that Jesus is not the serpent in the garden of Genesis 3? Well, you're not debating me though. You're being.
Hold on, is she saying Jesus is the serpent in the Bible?
She's saying that Jesus is the serpent in the garden of in
That's
the
what she
Bible.
claiming. I
Boy,
don't
that is,
agree with that, but
boy,
I
that is,
understand.
boy, that
I
is,
know why she's saying it, but I don't
that
agree.
is insane.
And so then the girl says, well, no, the serpent was Lucifer, but they never got to the point of Jesus being the serpent, because what happened is that it became a whole discussion on femininity and being a feminist versus what feminine should be and how women should be, and that we should be docile and submissive and this, that, the other. And then 607 Unc got up there and was like, well, no, you're not being yourself because you're trying to pretend like you need to be this docile. I mean, it'll blow your mind when you watch it. It's like, what the fuck are what? And I'm like the woman, as much as she says that she's Christian, she don't know nothing about the Bible. Like when you actually talked about she the first part of it, she talked about Genesis, and that during Genesis that Elohim told Adam and Eve not to eat the fruit. It wasn't just it was Elohim, which is a group of deities.
And we already went over that.
Right. So that's what happened with that. So, and then that whole thing went down. So now, so then, what I believe is that she's trying to promote her femininity and trying to teach people how to be feminine. And this is why I thought this was interesting, because accountability, right? And like, okay, is there a such thing as, I believe that there's two archetypes of women. You have a submissive type of woman, and then you have a more warrior type of woman. And that's what I really wanted to get into the part where she starts feminine versus the submissive versus the warrior type. And I think she's about to get into it coming up next.
Super sweet and like telling me about your feelings about babies and puppies. I want to talk to someone about who will say, yeah, Jesus, because do you know Jesus? I wanted to talk about Jesus being the serpent in the garden.
We can have the conversation,
so
but
did Christ lie at all, ever?
No, the word says that Christ was sinless, and that is why he took on our sins. If you believe, I understand that you don't.
I do believe, actually I do.
Okay.
I believe that Jesus is the serpent in the garden. I believe that Jesus is the historicity of Christ. But I know that there are lies being told to you, so you can believe otherwise. Why would a serpent be evil? How can a serpent even talk?
I believe in the polarity. For good, there's evil. For up, there's down. For bad, there's good. All right. I don't believe that Jesus is the serpent. The serpent is Satan. Maybe it's a representation. Maybe it's not Satan incarnate, but it is a representation of evil to tempt the woman who then disobeyed God. I do believe that actually happened.
We're about to get into it. The woman that disobeyed God. Here we go.
I disagree.
You can't disobey anything. You are beautiful, right?
Well, thank you. I'm not perfect.
You existed. Listen, that's how you popped up. It was God, right? And God was a basket of energy. Feminine existed. Energy just existed just because God was there. He was always there. You are the wisdom, right? You are the light of the world. Everything comes from you. But this one thing they did with history, they removed you. Right now, everybody that was taught, everybody watching this right now was taught by a woman, right? But in every book, it's a man that's doing the teaching and the telling. So you're defending man history. She's trying to tell you about yours, right? Because what's inside of you is something way more special than that story, right? They even track origins around. They do it the wrong way because they track it by men, but men have put you in prison. They have gave you their name because to track true orders, they got to track it from a woman. Because if I have sex with a woman, you don't know if that's my baby, but you know that baby came from that woman.
I disagree with you.
You know the baby came from a woman. You have a baby right now.
Yes, I have two sons. That is true. But what if I choose to give my name to my husband?
But we know the baby. I'm telling you about how they track it. We know for a fact it came from you. Right now, they track back origins right now from the woman DNA, not the man.
I understand that. However, I am pro-masculine and feminine. I don't believe that women are better.
Of course, because you woman. That's the connection of both, right? That's the connection of the masculine and the feminine.
Right.
That's the true essence of what we are.
Yes, but you said that women are divine and we're perfect.
I said what we are.
I disagree.
I didn't just.
Disagree that women are divine and perfect?
Yes, ma'am.
Why
I
do you
disagree.
disagree that, but you think that Jesus is divine and perfect as a man?
I believe Jesus is divine and perfect because he was the Son of God, not because he was a man.
Do you know the woman was the first existence, the feminine was the first existence?
I disagree.
Okay, well, you're a woman.
Yes.
You disagree? Did Adam? Did it say in the Bible that Adam didn't have a belly button?
I don't think that's in the Bible.
Did it say it? Did it say it?
It did not say
okay,
that.
Wait, if it didn't say that, then just how you know that Adam came from a woman, because everything came from a woman, got a belly button.
I disagree.
And listen, you agree with everything? Everybody right now that came here can show you one of these.
I understand that.
Everybody can show you one of these.
Please don't shout.
Right?
I understand. However,
right? Listen, everybody got one of those. So listen. So if Adam had one of those,
yes,
he came from woman. Everything came from you, and
I
you are
disagree.
beautiful.
Well,
find one thing in his existence right now that we can see that didn't come out of woman. Anything in nature.
Men are here to
name one thing in nature in history right now that didn't come out of female. Name one thing here now.
Creation. This table.
No. Name one thing here now that didn't come out of female.
I'm not sure if I'm understanding the question.
Let me rephrase it.
Okay.
Name one baby born.
Oh, well, of course.
Hold up. Name one baby born that didn't come out of a woman.
Of course.
Okay, now name one animal that was born
that
didn't come out of a woman. Hold up. So woman created and brought everything into this existence
with the man's seed. If I may.
No, women could do it without a man's seed. Listen, look, Jesus was born without a man's seed. He just said, hold up. You say, hold up. The Holy Spirit was a man. The Holy Spirit was a man because it entered Mary. Yes. Right? Hold up. It entered Mary.
Yeah.
Right? The entered means something. Right?
Yes.
I don't think you get it. Right? But you got to understand what you're trying to do. You're trying to take something away from you, but I'm telling you that you are everything. Nothing exists without you.
I think that's the problem that we have now, is telling women that they're everything. That's why we're
no, men ain't doing that. Men are telling women that everything based on attachments, based on they need them. I'm telling you so you can be free. I don't want to be attached to you.
I am.
Matter of fact, when you leave, I'm never gonna think of you again.
I understand that, and I won't remember you. I don't even know who you are.
No, you do know. You're gonna say you don't know who I am right now. I guarantee you, my voice gonna be stuck with you forever, and I guarantee you invented my voice.
I didn't invent anything.
All right, close your eyes right now. Now I'm gonna say something. I'm gonna say, I love you. Right
no,
now,
you don't. You don't even know me.
I'm gonna say I love you. Right.
Okay.
Now hear that same thing I just said in your mind.
Of course, I can repeat.
Can you hear it? Can you hear it in my voice?
Unfortunately, yes.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Listen. So. Where did my voice come from? It came from you.
No,
hold up. You just said you heard it in your own head, and everything exists in your head. Everything out here comes from your head.
No,
so everything exists in you.
You're wrong.
Name one thing I heard that didn't come from your head.
Okay.
Name one thing I heard that wasn't a thought.
Would you like me
name one thing that isn't a thought?
Would you like me to answer?
Name one thing that's not a thought, and I'll be done.
Okay, this table.
Is it a thought? It wasn't a thought?
It started as a thought.
Okay. So the thought is the cause of it all. Listen, and inside, let me tell you something else.
Okay.
This inside a thought, that's where you find perfection, right? Because right now,
I disagree. People think imperfect things all the time.
Think about a circle in your mind. Think of a square in your mind. Think of a triangle in your mind. Think of building a building in your mind. Anything you think in your mind, you can do it perfectly, right?
Well,
whoa. You can do it perfectly. Perfection exists inside of you, right? And so what I'm trying to tell you is that the moment you put it out here, it becomes a problem. But inside of you, perfection exists. Right, and I just want to say that. I just want to say that you're a beautiful woman, and that.
Well, thank you for the.
You should understand that.
I think that's interesting that you think I'm too sweet and you don't want to be here.
Used to people who are not as nice and sweet as you.
I think that's a problem.
Threw me off. Good.
That is a good thing. Tactic. If I may just respond to what Mr. Unk said, as far as creation. I just want to say, because I believe in the Bible, and again, because it is a choice and because it is faith. God created the first man and the first woman and the first of each species.
I just asked you, if God created the first man, did it have a belly button? If it had a belly button, then God didn't create it. It came out of woman.
Okay,
so
I don't know, and neither do
you. Can stop that, bro, because he wild.
You saw Adam's belly.
Listen, because that'd be something that they will have to tell you. That would be something.
No, they don't.
Wait, can we pause it?
Yeah, pause that, because Buddy wilding right now. He wilding.
He said that Adam have a belly button.
See, that's a tactic that people use in the so-called conscious community to prove that point. But see, one day me and Big A had that conversation about that. He trying to talk about, and Dory just asked me that in the comment section, excuse me. Becky, he talking about the X chromosome, as I'm probably sure you probably know, as
Mm-hmm.
because he's saying something had to come that had a belly button. Okay, yada yada, we hear you. But there's a difference between the modern X chromosome and the modern Y chromosome that makes XY man and XX woman from the archaic X and the archaic Y. The
Mm-hmm.
archaic Y look nothing like the modern Y, just like the modern X look nothing like the archaic X chromosome. So when he say that woman was first, he trying to superimpose the mutations that we have dealt with over whatever how many thousands of years. Whatever he's saying
Mm-hmm.
is trying to conflate what it would have been in ancient, and I'm talking pre-ancient times, even longer
Mm-hmm.
before we was writing. So no, women
Right.
wasn't first, but there was something that was here that was man and woman at the debatably the same time. You can whatever you want to believe in. We talking about well now he's talking biology, so I'm not talking from a biblical standpoint. I'm speaking strictly speaking on biology. What he's talking about is just pseudo.
Well, here's the question though: why is it that there are no male fossils that go as far back as the first female fossil?
What do you mean? The oldest Homo sapien that they have is the one found in Morocco that looked like 50 Cent. It's a male.
I'm hollering. Not look like 50 Cent.
It do though. Look at the reconstruction. He looked like 50.
Yo. I
You
gotta
know
find
it
it.
do. Go back and look. It's called Jebel El Hood.
No, I've seen it.
You can't listen. See what they'll do is they'll find a piece
Sister,
of
you
rock
asked me a
and then
question
make
about
a
the
whole
man and woman.
entire. No, they'll.
Yeah.
You said it look like 50 Cent and all this stuff. You can't go off of that depiction of what that fossil probably
Okay,
looked
well,
like.
you ain't got to
They'll
go by
find
the
a piece
depictions,
of a
but we talking about the
dinosaur,
sex.
a half of a dinosaur, and make a whole dinosaur out of it. And the same thing they'll do with a human being. But what I'm saying
Mm-hmm.
is that actual like from what I understood is that actually there was a female actually found in not Morocco but in like Turkey, because I did a whole thing like about like evolution and like this debate with what's his name outside the queue when it talked about like that. So I like actually there's an older fossil and there's a feminine fossil. So I don't know. I would rather say I don't know than to pretend like I do. You know.
Well, I mean, if she believes in the Bible, of course it's gonna be Adam was created, God opened up his rib, made Eve, right? So essentially neither of them, hypothetically speaking, if a belly button is a precursor, that you need an umbilical cord too, and we're saying that the assumption is that a belly button is only made when you come through a mother's womb, right? That's an assumption. Then neither of them would have actually had belly buttons.
And there's also
Right.
like amoeba and other like single cell organism. We can't.
So
So
no, we're talking
Yeah,
about
we
humans.
get into
We're
that,
talking about
Becky.
humans.
We get into
mammals
a
and stuff
slippery
like that.
slope talking about belly buttons. That's a tactic
Yeah, like that
people
belly
try to
button thing
use
is kind
Right.
of
to question Christians. See,
that's like Ash Rock
I'm
crazy.
unbiased. I don't when it get crazy, it get crazy. If he
No,
gonna
Ash
speak from
Rock
a
crazy was the first person to say that. Did he have a belly
nah,
button?
he ain't the first person to say that.
Or
That
was
was
it
Brother
John
Nah,
Steve
that's
Henry
before
been
him.
Clark?
around
Was it
way longer.
It been around longer than
Was it
Ashrock
Yosef
Crazy.
Ben Yakanan or John
No,
Henry?
way long. You're talking
No, a
about.
lot of people been asking them questions.
Yeah, this is the ancient thing that has come up ever since you talk about the Bible. People have been saying this for longest. We like to believe that we just evolved to be this critical when the truth of the matter is that we're not.
We were
They've been
intelligently designed.
the
As everything
same
was
debate we're
intelligently designed.
having right now. They've been having ever since Jesus' time about
Even before him,
creation
it's
Before
been
Jesus'
had.
time, ever
and
since
stuff.
Jesus' time,
Yeah,
child. You
like
Like
gotta cut that out.
I'm talking
Cause I'm
about as
no,
far
but
as
her point is that
creation. Like
it's an old conversation that we've been having for thousands of years. The point is this: there's intelligent design to everything, whether it's humans or whatever. And intelligent design is just a slick way for people that believe in science. And don't get me wrong, when I say science, I'm talking modern science, not knowledge. But people that
mhm.
believe in scientific theories that don't want to get into the religion of things try to run and say the creator, because most of the time these be
Mhm.
raving atheists, and I am completely against atheism. They don't got nothing to do
well,
with
no,
us.
Ankh is a Gnostic, and then I think Nepal is a Hebrew Israelite. But what about parthenogenesis? Do you think that exists? Is it a real thing?
Wait, I thought she's married
Parthenogenesis
to
exists in multiple creatures that exist.
So I believe, in my mind, is that there was a time when parthenogenesis was a thing. You know what I'm saying? Because, like I said, that they did find fossils of like females, and how did like those old fossils procreate? if you don't find the male next to the woman or somewhere around that area, how were they able to procreate? I believe in parthenogenesis. And then even the
No,
Bible is saying that parthenogenesis, because how would Mary have Jesus? Because we want to say it was but even immaculate conception could actually be considered like different, because any birth by a virgin, even if
Yeah, but then
has
they
sex,
ask you where the Y chromosome came from, and then they get real crazy.
well, no, they also so I mean, there's a sect of Christianity
They ask you like where
that
the Y
believes that
chromosome came
Jesus was
from.
completely divine, that the egg and the sperm, essentially what made him, was divinely entered, that he is not connected to
Damn, I
Mary.
can't even hear Becky anymore.
Can you hear me? Can everybody else, can you hear me?
Can everybody else hear me?
I can hear. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
All right,
to,
let me
to
go out
say
and come back
that
in.
neither egg nor sperm is from human connection, that an embryo was dropped into Mary and she was simply a surrogate, right? So
Like an alien, right? Because that's what they're doing right now in Holland. Is that right now in Holland or Netherlands? That right now they're trying to drop an egg into a transgender, and also trying to figure out how to create. Are you aware of that? That right now that they are creating humans without actual humans in Holland.
they've actually been doing that for a while now.
Yeah. So I
Yeah,
mean,
they've been doing it for a long while, actually. I remember hearing about this back 15, 20 years, I feel like. That they've been trying this for the longest, and they will be able to succeed in
I
some
think they finally
way,
made it
shape, or
legal to
form.
do it. I think that they were doing it,
Correct. Yeah,
but
they
now
were
they
doing
made it
it.
a law that like it's okay to do this crazy
It's
shit.
okay. Yeah.
But hold on, but Trey, I wanted to like really get into, because she's about to go into. I wanted to fast forward, like, well, a little bit fast forward, because well, you know what's going to happen is that this lady is going to then conflate, like it's crazy, like the femininity with the family and how women should be, and we need to be this way. And I really wanted to like get into that part of the live, because it once they get past the whole like religious aspect, it's going to get into feminism and the female versus the male, and it gets real interesting, because Nepal's a feminist, and then
How
this
she's a feminist, but she ain't a Black Hebrew Israelite.
well, I don't know.
Because you ever heard there? No, definitely not.
Oh, so the Hebrew Israelites are not feminists.
Oh no, not by a long shot. So that's why I'm like, nah, she's not a Black Hebrew Israelite. She may have came out of the camp, but she might have once been a
Harlan's
part
in
of
the
it.
back, Trey, or he might be asleep. Trey, you awake?
Trey, you awake? I'm about to be asleep myself, so.
Trey,
Oh man.
Trey, he done fell asleep.
He done fell asleep.
He was already stretching that's why he turned his camera off. Yeah. I don't know. It's like, it was interesting, because I was like, bro, the late, she would never answer a question. She would disagree, but never tell why she disagreed. And to me, I believe that I think that blind faith is like delusion at a certain point. Like just believing blindly in anything is delusional, because when a person actually challenges your faith and you can't go into your book, it's like, have you read the book though? Because my thing is that the whole time that she was having this discussion, it's like she could only say, well, I just believe. It's like, well, you believe, but have you read?
Yeah, I get what you're saying, and
I
why.
feel like
Okay.
in Christianity, like people just go to church. The pastor reads about 2 or 3 sentences and then tell you what the story's about. Now, it might, in context, if you read the rest of that whole verse that they actually do in their sermon, you might find that story had nothing to do with what he was talking about. But what they'll do is snippet out the sermon about this sentence, take another sentence, combine all these things together, and create a sermon. And I'm like, okay, that's the problem, I think, with this whole preaching culture in Christianity, is because it makes people lazy and they don't get to study the Bible, because they think that it's enough to go to church, hear the pastor teach and preach, and never actually study and read. Now, there's some people,
I
Sunday
mean,
school and this, that, the other, but that's the part I have a problem with the Christian church, is that people just, they get lazy with it.
Well, see, I intersect with all the mono, Christianity, Judaism, and Islam, right? They all do it. Don't get it twisted. I've realized, living in a multi-religious family and living in a multi-religious city, it is the human condition that causes people to rely on their heritage and to not really dig into their religion and the belief. I see it on every front. People who will go to mosques or they'll go to temple or they'll go to church. They'll hear the drash, the preaching, or whatever is read from the Quran,
And that's the last time they'll hear it for the rest of the week.
And that's the last time they'll hear it until the next one. So I think I actually think I won't just say it's American. That's not true, because I know plenty of Muslim and Jewish people from the Middle East who kind of on the same level. I ain't going to front. I do think it's more prevalent in America now, I will say. The percentage of Americans who do that compared to the percentage of people elsewhere is slightly different. But yeah, no, I found it very, yeah.
You know, listen, I practice E5, and you don't even get to the next level unless you know a certain level of information. Like, you don't get to become a Babalawo and not have to study over a certain amount of time to understand the Odu. Because there's no book about it. There's no book of the Odu. You have to memorize. So I believe that when they wrote all these things down, it made people lazy. People were able to create sermons about it and then teach people from that, versus actually learning the Odu, and then or whatever the verses of the Bible and actually studying. I think that this, and so what happens is that people will say, "Oh, it's about faith." It's like, well, no, if you actually look deeper into it, it's about way more than just faith. Well, I just have faith in this whole thing. I believe at a certain level, faith becomes delusion.
Okay. Well, Trey, I'm about to hit the sack, y'all. It's been
all right, back.
Great talking. Don't know what y'all want to get into the next topic, but
yo, Becky, I'm back.
Yeah, I'm about to leave out. I gotta work tomorrow.
Yeah, we'll run it back.
All right. Have a great night, y'all.
Peace out.
Nice to meet you, Becky.
Buddy up here wilding.
Look like they describe everything else. That'll be something that they have.
But every church that you go to has a different representation of Jesus.
Science has got another thing happen. Did you know what happened to a baby? Right now you're a woman, but did you know in about 4 weeks that what's inside your belly is actually a fish?
No, you're wrong.
No, the eyes is on the side of the head like this.
Well,
listen to me. The eyes on the side of the head like this. Listen,
I understand what you're saying.
It's inside water, right?
I understand.
Whoa. It's inside of water, right?
But it's not a fish.
Listen, and everything on Earth right now started from a fish, but it was a jawless fish.
I disagree.
It was a jawless fish. Everything started from a jawless fish.
We disagree.
Oh, how can we disagree? Even AI gonna say this shit right, because this shit's the fucking truth, right? It's called.
Please don't swear at me. No, I understand.
It's science.
I understand in evolution.
What we're talking about is actually, you're a very nice lady.
Thank you. So, I teach femininity.
You teach femininity?
I do.
Why do you have to teach femininity?
Because women have lost it today.
How did they lose it?
Because they're trying to compete with men as men, and we've lost our femininity.
So you think femininity is just
point there?
Absolutely not. That's not me at all.
No. When you say that women have been fierce, you're African.
I am.
Do you know they're fierce African warrior women?
Absolutely, but they're still feminine.
How are they feminine when they were slicing people's heads off, ripping them apart?
You know what?
You're saying you teach femininity.
I
I'm going
do.
to gamble and say that you teach them not to do those things.
Well, people do what they have to do in the time that they live to survive. There was a time when we had to grow our own crops and slaughter our animals. We don't do that anymore.
So they don't have to survive today.
I didn't say that. What I said that.
You said women lost it today.
I said women lost their femininity. Please don't speak for me.
Well, no, you said women lost their femininity today. And I said, you're from Africa.
I am.
Warriors.
Women were.
They had to do it back then.
Not
but
only.
Today, you said they don't have to do it now. They don't have to survive. Women.
What I said is we all did what we had to survive in the time that we were living.
Today?
If I may finish.
No, you can finish. I'm asking you, do they do it today?
Yes.
So you teach femininity.
I do.
You teach women that they should be sweet and kind or be warriors?
I teach women that they shouldn't be men.
wait a minute. Do you teach them to be sweet and kind, or do you teach them to be warriors?
If you want to
if
be,
a woman fights a man,
I wasn't
no,
finished.
I'm going to ask you. I gotta
okay,
because
you've asked me
I can't
multiple.
let this niceness coming out.
Yeah, I'm
When
struggling
a
that you're
woman is
bothered by
fighting,
it.
because you said you teach femininity.
I
When
do.
a woman is fighting,
Women
do you
shouldn't
say
fight.
that's manly, or
It
do you
is.
say it's feminine?
It's
So,
very
If it's
masculine.
manly,
It
they
is.
are warriors
Yes.
today, and they don't have to survive today. But in the past, when they were warriors, it's okay.
Okay, if I may answer you,
Sure.
again, we all do what we have to do to survive. There was a time when we had to grow our own crops and slaughter our own animals. I don't know if you're a mother. I'll speak for myself.
I'm
I had
talking
2
about
boys.
warriors, not farmers, not husbandry.
If
I'm
I
talking
may,
about warriors.
if I may answer,
Sure, answer, please. I'm waiting.
I consider myself a very kind and nonviolent person. However, cross me about my boys, it'll be a very different story. So if you're in
what will you do?
whatever I have to,
So
not in
basically,
that
it's a
moment.
time and a place, Nepal. You ain't gotta argue everything.
Absolutely.
No, so women can't fight.
I never said that. I never said that.
You did.
There
You said
were
it's
women.
masculine to fight.
It is masculine to
So
fight.
women can't fight, or they're manly.
You can be a woman and have masculine moments. I'll give you an example. I'm a boy mom. There are times when I have to say, "Hey, get over
So
here."
you're manly.
In that moment, yes. But
So
when
why
I'm
are
with,
you teaching femininity if you're manly?
because
But that's not manly to say, "Hey, get over here."
Nepal
And
is
so if you're
Can you?
manly, they
And
can't.
no, absolutely. What I'm saying is the women who come to me want to be in a relationship with a masculine man. A masculine man requires a feminine woman, full stop. All right. So if you want to be with a masculine man, oftentimes women today do not realize how masculine they have become. I'll give you another real world example. I'm a former executive. When you have to lead people and manage budgets and do all these things with millions, you take on that masculine energy and you don't know sometimes how to turn it off and be nice and sweet when you're in a nurturing mode, when you're with your
Exactly.
husband.
Who's the governor of that? Who decides? You?
Right now,
Because you're a
she cooking
femininity
Nepal.
coach. So you
Nepal
decide
tripping.
that when women are ready to be manly, they can be manly. You're calling it man.
Yeah, it's a
You call
time
it
and a
manly
place.
to be assertive. You call it
Being
manly.
an unruly woman,
See, so you can
over
decide
talking for no reason,
For
ain't got
me,
nothing to do with
but
when it's time to protect
there
your
are so
family.
many women. There's
Nepal
and
tripping.
not
millions
every
of people.
and not
You-
everybody is my
so
student.
how do you get to be an authority on who's feminine and who's not?
I'm not the authority
you
for
just said you're a
everyone.
femininity coach.
I am. When women come
So
to
you're not
me
an authority. So I
because
shouldn't
they
listen to you.
no, you shouldn't.
Okay,
Because they
no one
want
should-
what
no
I
one should
have.
listen to you.
No.
Thank you. She said it.
No.
One should. So
I
you're
said
not, so you don't know
you-
anything about femininity, because femininity isn't being nice and sweet. And guess what? Femininity is about fighting, because
I disagree.
Because guess what? Females, lions, fight to the death while the male sits back. Women and mothers, like you
Man,
said,
pause this.
fight for their children. You said it's manly to fight.
It
so you are
is.
not. Which one is it?
Nobody is feminine 100% of the time. And if a man
Exactly.
if a man loses a family member and he is heartbroken and crying, that is not a masculine moment. That is
I
a
think we need to redefine all of. We need to redefine that crying is not being masculine. We need to redefine that being fighting isn't not being feminine. That's the problem. It's it's a social thing.
You can define it however you want to. All I'm saying is there is a natural biology.
So is
wow,
it wrong?
you really
No, is
interrupting
it wrong for your is it wrong for your sons to cry if they
Absolutely
if their
not.
turtle
interrupting is very
and if
masculine.
someone's is it wrong if your son gets hit by another person, he cries, and they say you're a sissy?
That's absolutely
by your
wrong.
standards, he's being feminine crying.
If
right?
he's a boy, that's expected. If he's a man, absolutely
so
not.
if
He'll
a
defend.
man gets punched in the face and
He's going to
hurts him,
punch
he
you
cries.
back.
So wait, men can't cry?
I never said that.
Yes, you
Are you
just did.
listening?
You
No,
just said it.
I said we are not masculine 100% of the time,
Yeah.
and we are not feminine
And
100% of the
who's gonna
time.
govern that?
Whatever outcome the woman wants, the women that come to me
Hey,
because you
Trey,
said I
pause
shouldn't be
this.
the authority. I am not the authority. I am just a mom on the internet.
Right.
But women come to me because they want what I have. They see something in me that they do not see in somebody like you.
Oh,
And they
really?
say, you know what, Maggie, I would love to have a relationship like yours.
Mm.
I would love to be able to communicate like you. I would like to be able to keep my composure like you. I would love to be able to have respective men that do not know me. How can I do that? I see.
Give them everything you got, then, because the only way you can do it. Because no matter what you do, hold up, you just said they come to you and they say, look, everything that you got. So if you want to help them, give them everything that you got.
I do.
Hold up, no, give them everything. You should have nothing left for yourself.
No, that's not true.
Yeah, if you gave them everything, if they like everything that you like, if I like your shirt and you
Yes.
give me your shirt, you
Yeah.
have no other shirt.
Right.
Right? If you gave me your shirt right now, you'd be shirtless.
That is true.
So that's what I'm saying. So what I'm saying is that you are fighting for things, and this I said talk. You're beautiful. I love you. I love everything you said. I'm gonna say this. I cry all the time. I cry before I started.
You're not.
This,
You're masculine.
right? But I'm masculine and femininity. They exist together.
Yes, it's
It's
called polarity.
both,
we do agree.
right?
Yes.
Both. But I don't want a woman. Like a lot of men want a submissive woman. I don't want a submissive woman.
Because you're not a masculine man.
Oh, listen. Let me tell you this. Let me tell you this.
Oh wow.
Let me tell you this. I'm something that you probably don't understand, right? A masculine man is going to tell you what to do. They're going to attach you. They're going to try to hold you down. Listen to me. Hold up. Listen to me. I exist in both. I'm both masculine and feminine, right? Because I understand the duality of both. I understand that my mind have a left and a right side. I activate them both, right?
Okay.
So I'm gonna say this. I'm not here to tell you what you should do, right? I'm not going to define what's masculinity to you and what is not.
Man,
but I don't want to submit to a woman, because once you tell a woman to submit to you, that's me telling the woman that I'm above her. I'm not above no woman. Hold up. If that's the case, when a child come out, then the mother should automatically submit to the child if the child is a male. Hold up, because you're suggesting that I am above you, right? That
My
you
man is.
Listen, I'm gonna say this. You're in prison, and listen, and I'm gonna say this. And
I'm
your
happy.
Man, listen to me. You're in prison.
I'm
your
not.
man is fine what you do, and that's a life that you shouldn't want to live.
You're
right?
wrong.
Because you have been programmed to believe that submitting is something that you want to do, but in reality, in your mind, right now, know what you're doing right now? You're wearing what they call a mask. Right now, you're doing this.
Yes. Then who's the real me?
I could just ask your husband. He'll tell you when you're mad. Yeah. That's what you do, and that's who the fuck you is. And you want to sit here and act like that's not who the fuck you is. Shut the fuck up talking when I'm talking. Don't you fucking talk again. Why the fuck are you talking?
No.
So
Why you talking?
Because
just
are you going to be disrespectful? I was respectful to you.
It's the fact that you
But did I answer you?
Holding in. No, you still holding in. I just
because it's called composure.
You should stand up for yourself. No.
You should stand up for yourself. Composure, nigga.
Following in. When you leave, what you gonna say? That motherfucker in there yelling at me. He's doing all this shit.
I don't have to say it because you made a great point. You made
you're not being yourself.
You don't know me.
No,
you don't know me at all.
You're a human being, and I know that the way you're reacting to someone doing that is not natural.
It's called composure.
No, it's called you're being. You're ma'am.
Who is shaking? Oh, she's shaking.
You.
See Jabari, big goofy head ass in the background, cool with this shit.
I am not angry because I don't respect you.
There's nothing wrong with being angry.
I don't respect you.
Go where you respect it. You can't get respect. Listen,
you can shout at me, but I don't even know you. You shouted at me and you slammed the table.
You listen. You disrespect me since you've been here. You say I was.
How did I just? Oh yeah, I said you're not a masculine man. Yeah,
hold on.
That's
Everything that you said was disrespect, but you, listen. Everything I said to you was polite. Was giving you nothing but love, right? But the moment I said something you didn't like, you're gonna say that disrespect, but you never acknowledged when I said something good to you.
But you said
you never acknowledged it.
No.
Hold up, stop.
I said
hold up. You never acknowledged when I said something good to you. But the moment I say something you don't like, you acknowledge that. But that's how people is in the world. They acknowledge what's bad. They never acknowledge what they figure is good.
Okay, may I speak?
Why should I allow you to speak when you won't even accept my kindness?
I did. When you gave me the compliment, I said thank you. But you told me you loved me, and I said you don't even know me.
Find love. Love is both. Listen, I'm saying this. You don't think you know love. I don't know. I know you don't know love because love is both.
I am so loved.
If you were so loved, then everybody you love, you never was mad at.
That's not true.
So love exists.
Mad is an emotion.
So love exists, and all the emotions exist inside love. So you can't determine whether I love you or not.
I would disagree.
You can't determine that.
If I may speak, I think when you love somebody, you're actually madder at them than someone you don't love. Take your children, right? If your children disobey you, if you see a kid acting out in the store, falling out, you're like, well, there they go. But if you see your kid misbehaving, you're even angrier because you want a better outcome for them. Because
if I see my kid fall, I'm not gonna think that you're trying to make me and your reality. This is what I'm saying. Love is unconditional. No matter what you do to me,
I disagree.
No matter what you do to me, no matter what I do to you, love will still be there, right? That's true love.
Yeah,
that's true love, right? Fake love become determined by you do this, I give you love. You do this, I give you this, right? That's fake. Real love exists inside of everything if it's real love.
I agree, but I do think it has to be earned, and I think it has to be maintained.
I ain't earning no love from nobody.
That's fine.
Because like if you got to earn it, you have to continue earning it.
Does a newborn have to earn love when it comes out of your womb?
For children, it's different.
So,
However,
you see how you have different.
No, but thank you. I appreciate the compliment. I was just going to say,
I think she's wrong about love, though. I think that she's wrong about her assessment of
children
love.
aside, right? Because they come how they come, right?
That's
Just,
say you ain't gonna
again,
have
my faith, the purity of a baby being born.
The way that
Let's
you
talk
move
about
with a child
relationships
and you
because
with
that's
an
something that
adult.
I'm
Like,
passionate
let's be
about.
honest. They up
I
here just
can
arguing.
love
Listen,
my man, but if he doesn't continue to do the things that make me love him, that love is going to fade. We have to. That's why it's called keeping the home fires burning. I think as women, that is our responsibility. That's part of our nurturing. A relationship is not just going to be beautiful and bright just because I told you one time that I love you. If I'm not doing those loving things, you're going to feel slighted from me, and over time, that love will fade. How many times have we heard people say we fell out of love, or it's just not there anymore because we didn't put the work in to maintain it?
They never loved you in the first place because you said, listen.
I
love,
disagree.
Listen, if you let I'm saying this.
Okay.
Right? If you love somebody,
yes,
love never leaves.
That's true.
The moment it leaves, it never was love. So I'm gonna say this, right?
Okay.
People confuse love with attachments, meaning that if you sit here, if you do everything I tell you to do, then I can give you my love. But the moment you leave, that love disappears. The moment you disobey me, that love disappears. So that I believe is not love. The true love that you said that we both agree on, all of us, that when the baby came in, they got that love.
That's
true. So I say that when you love somebody, it should be that love.
Well,
and if it's not that love, then it's not love at all.
That's fair. I agree with you. And even the Bible that neither of you agree with has different.
I never say I agree with the Bible.
Okay, my mistake then.
I agree.
I believe it's Greek, and I'm not a Bible scholar, but I believe it's Greek that has different words for different types of love, right? Romance, right? So
there's
agape, erotic,
right?
And then we have philo love,
right? Brotherly.
So this is the thing I'm trying to understand with you.
Okay.
Are you do femininity coaching?
Yes.
You say, well, if my husband keeps on doing everything fine, that's great, but if he stops loving me, do you stop submitting? Or what do? You just go and start internalizing everything?
I think submission is.
Yeah.
Hey, so what are your thoughts?
But you can stop this video.
It's a choice.
Hold on.
Yeah, bro, you can stop this. They dude, buddy.
The mute buttons on it. You can't even hear what you're saying. You have mute.
Any relationship, we'll put love relationships to the side. You can't be a good employee and not show up. You can't be a good mother, sister, friend. You have to continue to do the things that bring that relationship closer. So yes, if your husband stops doing the things, if your wife stops sleeping with you.
I want to go back to the mother thing.
I ain't slept with her. She watching this. I haven't slept with her about 13 months to this day. She's still there, will not leave. This is true.
I believe you.
Oh, I know that's true.
It's true. This is true.
I believe you.
I'm saying this was a choice that I made.
I understand.
The choice that I made, don't say I don't love someone because I don't want to stick my dick in.
Can you speak to me without swearing?
Listen, it's a thing, right? I could speak to you without swearing if you could speak to me as you.
I don't know what
you gonna tell her what she
before
being and what she not being.
Become a femininity coach and decided that you knew everything about femininity.
I never said I know everything. I took my own courses.
Speak to me like you was before you started speaking like that. And
that cost me my marriage. Here's the thing.
That ain't cost your marriage. Your husband left you because he didn't see who you was.
Hey man, I'm gonna head out, buddy tripping.
You never lost shit, right? Because you are whole. I'm sorry. I don't want to cuss. You say don't cuss in front of me. I'm gonna say this. You are beautiful. You never lost nothing. Nothing never cost you nothing.
But how do you know if you weren't there?
You are beautiful. Listen, because everything. Listen, I'm gonna say this. Anything that comes from you is beautiful. Yes, you probably made mistakes. Everything makes mistakes. But if somebody loves you,
I'm a sinner. I'm a hopeless sinner.
No, you're not. You're not. Sinner is a sine wave. You was born in a wave of energy, right? The words have been changed and things are different.
I have made mistakes.
Oh man, you submitting to a God, you submitting to a man, you living your life submitting.
And I am so happy because men are leaders.
Yes. Yes. When you sat down, you said, why are we in a prison if we didn't do any crime? But
right.
You admit to being a sinner.
Right.
And sin is a crime. So that's why you're in a prison planet.
Well,
if you want to go by that.
Okay.
Being in a prison planet isn't just about there's nothing inside of he said there's nothing inside of that body.
Oh my.
So did y'all want to elaborate on anything that was said or been said?
It's interesting that I actually agree with Unc and Napa about how she sees herself. Like she just said that, I'm a sinner, I'm this, I'm that. Okay, no, you're not. Like, I mean, I don't believe, like, why would you take on that personality of that I'm lowly, I need to be on my knees begging and whatever and this docile, like submissive, like I need to submit to everything. What? Like, no, but you know what? I'm not a submissive woman. I'm like, I think there's different archetypes. You can't convince a woman that have the archetype of being a submissive to the archetype of being dominant. So I'm a dominant woman. So to me, when I see this, I'm like, okay, I see what the pa is saying, but the men are when is like, no, they're ganging up on her and they're wrong. And it's like, okay, well, I think that, for those people that look at women a certain way, that women should not have to bow down and submit and be and submit to everything. It's saying that she's wrong. I don't know. What do you think? Hello? Did he fall asleep again? He asked the question. Y'all wanted him to take the video off, but then he fall asleep again.
I'm not asleep, Genesis.
Oh, okay. I'm like, what happened? Okay. But yeah, so what do you think about it?
Man, it's a lot of rhetoric up here. One thing about it, we can guess what we know. We're not going to know until we die. And ain't now one of us died.
Right, but I'm saying what's happening also is she's talking about relationships, right? She talked about love. She said that love is conditional. If a man is not doing what initially he said he's going to do, then you fall out of love with that you can fall out of love with that man. So, but my thing is that if you really love a person truly, then you never fall out of love because he's not doing, because you never know why he's not. It's all the context, everything. I believe that people are doing the best that they can at any given moment. At that moment, that man might be doing the best he can. So why would you then take your love away from him? Oh, because he didn't do like how when we first started our relationship, he's not behaving the same way. Well, what's the context of that? Why is he not? So like I see where Unc and Nepal are coming from. People get so indoctrinated and so like wrapped up into like whatever their beliefs are. But in reality, like when she talked about love itself, I don't believe that a person that looks at themselves as a sinner, that's lowly, that's on their knees, could ever understand love, because love does not beat you down, it builds you up. She would never feel like she was a lowly sinner if she really felt love correctly. How can she say that she understands love and she feels like lowly, like a sinner on her knees?
Maybe she's just misguided. That's all.
But it's hard for like some of these men. Someone says love is conditional. Hell no, it's not. It should not. It shouldn't be. Why is love conditional?
True love is
unconditional. She did say that. She ain't say none of that bullshit. Run the tape back. She's speaking 100% religious doctrine. That's exactly what she's doing. she feels like that a man. She says she's a coach, right? I'm a relationship coach, but she doesn't even understand what love truly is. How could you take direction from a woman that's a coach? She actually said, if you actually listen to her, she said that women follow her because they want what she has and they see whatever she's got going on and they want the relationship that she has. How could you want a relationship where if the moment that that man is not doing exactly what he did when he came into the relationship, that you no longer love that guy? Now, this man could have gotten in an accident. It could be any reason why this guy is not performing at the. Go ahead. What are you gonna say?
Nah, this so good.
Oh, I mean, it could be any reason why that man is not performing at the level that you met him on. He might be depressed. He might have gotten into an accident. He might have lost his job. Whatever the reason is, if he's not operating on that same level that I met him on, I can then take my love away from him. You never love that guy. If you could take your love away from that person, you never loved them to begin with, because love can't easily be taken away. Just like we talked about like children. So, well, you can't equate having a baby and how you love a baby. Listen, my daughter, if she gets A's on her report card and she gets D's and F's on her, I still love her the same. But they say that's different, right? The way I love my children should be different from the way I love my husband that actually gave the children to me. That we came together and made sure there's a separation in how I love these two beings. People don't understand what love is. So there's no way that this lady should be a relationship coach at all. I think she has a lot more growing to do. She said that she got divorced in one relationship because she was being too much of a boss babe, right? And then that guy told her whatever, and he divorced her for whatever reason because she was too bossy. And so then she took on this persona of being submissive and soft spoken and composed when probably before she was raised in hell before. But the thing is, now all you're doing is bottling up your emotions and being a people pleaser. And all that's going to do is make you sick. You know, when you finally get to exude, it's gonna show up in illness. You know, if you can't express yourself in a marriage or any relationship, it shows up in the body as illness. You have to be able to express yourself, talk about how you feel. If that man can't accept how you feel, he ain't the one for you, ma'am. I gotta be quiet because it makes you feel uncomfortable. No, I'm uncomfortable right now, and I need to be able to express how I feel. And you should be able to do the same thing. That's true love, and I should be able to accept it when you don't feel right, and you should be able. That's marriage. That's what marriage should be. I don't know. She didn't say anything you're talking about. Yeah, she didn't because she objected to anything anybody had to say. She didn't agree to nothing. Everything that somebody said, I disagree. She never explained why she disagreed. She just said, I disagree, and that was it. She didn't say nothing. All she said was, I disagree. And then she outlined whatever the fuck it was that she believes in, which is a bunch of bullshit. 607 Unc gave her like all like the most like I mean he was like, you're beautiful, you're this, and the whole time he was telling her that she was beautiful, she talked against it. That is low self-esteem. That is, she can't even accept someone being kind to her. The moment he was like, you're beautiful, whatever, I love you, whatever, she was like, you don't even know me. Everything is about like negative, and that's sad. That's low. That's a very, as much as she tries to exude self-esteem, that's low self-esteem. Why could you think that someone couldn't meet you and immediately love you? Why do you feel unlovable? If someone says, I love you, yeah, I know I'm lovable. So yeah, thank you. I love you too, sir. Mutual. Why can't we just be able to love each other and not have a stipulation on it? Her understanding of love is to know her and to do what whatever her rundown or whatever love be. That's why she couldn't accept love off the rip of somebody saying, you know what, I love you, right? You can't accept love off of like nothing, like a person just loving you for no reason whatsoever. And you're supposed to be a Christian, and Christians are supposed to have love for each other, right? Brotherly love, my brother, and all this other Christian stuff. But she says, well, you don't know me, so you can't love me. Well, what's wrong? Well, that's not according to Christianity. So as much as people were saying that they couldn't take it and I'm leaving, everybody whenever they're gonna leave, they're like make an announcement. Oh, I just gotta go. Well, honey, you don't have to like announce it. Oh, this is too much. Oh, I'm about to leave. Well, why? Because it's not agreeing with whatever you have in your mind or what you think that the reality should be. That's when I like actually covered this subject. I said, you know what? For the most part, a lot of people they follow this religion, and there's a pastor that sit there and give them the scripture every single Sunday, and that's the furthest they go with it. And I believe that people need to get into more like spiritual stuff to like really get into their like really their true self. Because a lot of this stuff, this indoctrination that happens, it's not really getting to the core of who you are. You become like a person that doesn't even understand like the basics of love and respect for one another. She couldn't even accept 607 saying, listen, the whole time, if you actually watch the entire like live stream, now he did make a example. He did it on purpose. She couldn't even understand that he was actually trying to show her something because she was being so defensive that she didn't even see the play he did. When he was yelling at her, he was trying to get her to show her real voice because she was up there trying to posture and be the dating coach of the century. She was putting on a facade. So he said, okay, well, let me just start yelling at her. Let me see if it jostles her enough to actually show like, don't do this. Don't do that. Okay. But life is in reality is not like that. There's going to be times when you're going to be yelled at. It's going to be times people shake the table. And are you going to just sit there and be like, just don't yell at me? No, you're going to be like, no, what the fuck are you talking about? Hell no. So he's saying, man, you need to like stand up for yourself, right? I'm yelling at you, stand up. Don't just sit down and let somebody doormat you and yell at you. So other people didn't see what he was doing for what it was. I saw it. Like, no, I yelled at you, and instead of you standing up for yourself and saying, don't talk to me this way and bump all this, like she didn't have to like go toe to toe with him. But no, don't talk to me like that. And in a stern voice. And that don't mean that she's being masculine. She said that women fighting is a masculine thing. And I showed a video on my channel of a lioness. Man, the lion slapped the little baby cub lion. And honey, she looked at that lion, didn't. She got up close to that lion face, that male lion face, stood there for a second, and then slapped the shit out of him with her paw. And I don't think that was masculine. I think that was very feminine. That was a very feminine thing to do. I think that the miscalculation that femininity is this soft, docile thing that don't speak back, that don't say nothing back, that just sit up there and just don't say nothing and be a doormat is a lie. There are different archetypes of women. You have your warrior type of women. You have the hoe type of women. You have like the homemaker type of women. But what happens is that men want to make women into a monolith of all these things. Okay, all women are hoes. All women should be like the housemaker. All women that are like strong and whatever are men. They're trying to be like a man, whatever. But in reality, there's different types of women. If you want a more docile like woman, you find that type of woman. There's more women out here than men. It should not be that hard to find a woman that you want that's going to be that woman that you like. And that's pretty much. I'm done. I'm down above my totem pole. My damn speaker box. If you ain't fell asleep yet. She disrespected him first. She told him, "I don't respect you as a man." She told him that you're not a masculine man. She said, "Because I don't respect you." She came with disrespect before he ever disrespected her. But see that a lot of like time, like when a person is saying what you think that you want to hear, you don't hear the everything else that's really going on, because that woman was saying what you think that you want to hear as a man or whatever the heck it is. But in reality, like she was very disrespectful to Unc. I don't even know who you are. It's his show. What the fuck are you there for? You know what I'm saying? How you gonna be on a show with a person? You say I don't even know who you are. That's disrespectful. He says, "Listen, I'm not gonna think about you after this." But there was a point that he was trying to make is that I'm don't think I'm trying to push up on you. You're beautiful and everything, but I'm not trying to push up on you. She took it personally, and so she tried to like jab back with, I don't even know who you are because you're not a match. She so what she did was she took what he said, she got upset and then she weaponized everything that he said and looked for moments to jab him back because it hurt her feelings. Y'all need to like understand how the this that psychology of this so-called like feminine woman. See, y'all got rocked to sleep by the soft voice, but she was being very passive aggressive. And the more that you actually watch this thing, she was interrupting just as much as the power was. She was what she would do is keep interrupting 607, and then when she got in front of the pop, it became a cat fight. Then she's okay, well, yeah, with you, I'll go toe to toe with you, but on the male side, I don't respect you as a man, so I'm gonna sit up here and just keep fucking interrupting you and keep talking the whole time. And that's why he was like, you know what, stop talking when I'm talking. Because I bet you with her so-called man that she respects, he probably got to tell her the same thing, and she just think that she because she talks softly that she's really being feminine and not being like passive aggressive. So all right, let's be feminine and passive aggressive with our shit. I'm gonna talk real soft and just keep interrupting you in a really soft way, and I'm being feminine, so you shouldn't be upset with it. I'm talking so softly and interrupting. No, no, that's not. I don't believe that. Oh man. Oh my god. No, no. What the fuck? Would you rather a person just keep antagonizing you with soft voice? Shit. Honey, at least you can get it over with. With a person that's like kind of like asserting herself, you can say, you know what, okay, and we can come to an agreement somehow. But a person that's just softly just saying, no, no, I just don't, I disagree. With no context. You know what I'm saying? No context whatsoever. You just disagree for no fucking reason. Why do you disagree, man? I just disagree. I don't really think I should have to like argue. I don't think the woman should argue. I think we should be very docile and just don't say nothing and just be quiet. And now you don't even know what the hell you're even arguing. Come on now, that all that shit is a manipulation tactic. She's very clever and very manipulative. And y'all need to understand the difference between this docile bullshit and real when you're being manipulated by these women because she's soft spoken. That's what we want. This soft spoken. She gonna cook. She gonna do this, and she gonna manipulate the fuck out of you. I don't know where Trey is. Where you at, bro? I wasn't trying to give a diatribe, but you know, Trey, you there? Anyways, y'all, I don't know what's going on. You reach it. There you go. I'm with you 100%. Yeah, exactly. Trey, Trey, wake up. I don't know where. I don't know. I think Willie and Trey are asleep. But I said what I had to say, you know. Honey, I don't even know. Trey over here sleeping. I think Willie's sleeping too. I hear like a kid's song in the background. I'm hearing like doom 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 doom. Listen, y'all, I gotta go. This was a great show. Much love, guys. Peace.
What up, Kim?
In the law.
You say what?
In the law.
Y'all done talking?
I never got on there to talk to nobody, but that lady, she done talking. She left.